Week 2 of the 2001 season and the Claymores' visit to Amsterdam provided us with some ugly football. Each side committed costly errors as both couldn't get to grips with the turf or the football. In the comedy of errors that followed, it was the Admirals that got the win thanks to some last-minute heroics.
Win with a lot of time, looks for Chris Coleman, who's got open inside the 5, touchdown Amsterdam! What a play!
Getting the season back on track will not be easy. Today, the Bravehearts will host Jonathan Quinn's Berlin Thunder, a team on a mission after defeating the Galaxy at home. Will Berlin be put to the sword? You'll find out on Sky Sports.
It's warm and it's sunny here in Scotland. The fans out in force, of course. It's warm, but it's not that warm, surely. Well, two head coaches definitely keeping their shirts on. Gene Dahlquist in his first year as a head coach, 30 years in the business. 1-1 so far. A very up and down season for Dahlquist. And here's Peter Vaas in his second year at the helm of the Berlin Thunder. He's been around a few years as well.
Yes, I like Peter Vaas. I like the enthusiasm, but I also like the game. But anytime you're a receiver, I like his emphasis on this game as far as he believes his receivers have to have tremendous games for them to be able to win. They're going to try to throw the football down the field, and that creates excitement, especially for the skilled players. Coach Dahlquist, he's kind of struggling. He's trying to find himself. He's been coaching for a long time, but he's trying to find the tricks and nuances of being a head coach. This only being the third game, and last week he felt as if he failed miserably in getting the game plan to his team.
We're underway. Scott Bentley from the Washington Redskins kicks it to Dante Hall from the Kansas City Chiefs, and Hall fields at the 5 and has a good seam and is past the 30, up to the 35, dancing around and is down at the 35-yard line. A 30-yard return from Hall. Dwayne Stooks on the stop. Let's take a look at this Scottish Claymores offense. It's led by that fiery competitor, Clint Sterner from the Dallas Cowboys. These are the guys blocking for him. Nivens, Mack, Humphrey, King, Fit again, and Jim Stull. And the backs and receivers, Scott Cooper and Dante Hall, the wideouts, James Whalen and Randy Palmer, the two tight ends. Anthony Gray from the Philadelphia Eagles is the lone setback. First down, Scotland. Sterner will throw on first down and finds Dante Hall. And that's a pickup of 4 yards. Peyton Williams coming up and making the stop. That'll be second down and 6, Scotland. Let's take a look at this Berlin Thunder defense. It's a group that's given up a lot against the run. Warren, Washington, Pospisil and Young up front. The linebackers, Dax Strohmeyer, Joe O'Neill and Mark Megner. And in the secondary, Peyton Williams and Wade Davis. On the corners, Billy Gustin, who was here last year, and James Watkins are the corners. So second down after the completion to Hall. The blitz is coming.
That's it.
The blitz got through. Wade Davis delayed his run and timed it to perfection and made the stop.
Perfect timing from the defensive back position. The one thing they're trying to do as a secondary, talking to Stephen Bragg, is they're trying to get Wade Davis isolated on some of the receivers in man-to-man coverage. He's probably the best pure cover man in NFL Europe, and he has the skills to really take his game to the next level, being the NFL, because there's a lack of pure cover corners in the NFL. Not a lot of good ones walking the street.
Third down. The Claymores have struggled all year with third downs. Let's see if they can convert here. Good protection for Sterner, and he's got a man. Gerald Williams picks it up at midfield. Peyton Williams pushed him out of bounds, but they will gain 10 yards and a first down.
That's exactly what they're trying to do going into the game. They've been very, very ineffective as far as picking up first downs. Tremendous drive to start out, at least to get the ball out to midfield, pick up some first downs, give the quarterback Sterner some confidence and the ability to throw the football, throw some short passes, get his rhythm, and generate first down and yardage so they can put their defense in good field position.
That's a good point you made there, Chris. You do feel that Clint Sterner is a man who thrives on confidence. When it goes well, he really does rise to the occasion. They'll go on the ground. Vaughan Sanders will try and cut back, and he won't get much. Now he spins away and makes a good effort for 1 yard. James Watkins eventually coming up from safety. Berlin Thunder have been gashed on the ground the last 2 weeks, but it looks like Peter Vaas has decided we've got to tighten that thing up.
Yes, that's going to be a point of emphasis as far as their defense, their run. run support has been very, very bad in the first half of games in the first 2 weeks of the season. But also they have not defended the misdirection play. And that's what Scotland's going to try to do is take a running back starting one way and bring him back another way, because the flow of the defense is going to over-pursue those type of plays.
Hall and Williams are the wideouts. Sanders in the backfield, second down and 9.
K22.
Mike 53.
Green. K22. Huts.
With a quick drop, looks again for Williams, incomplete, broken up by Wade Davis. And Davis has made a solid start to this game.
Well, exactly what we're trying to talk about. He's in there on every play, and even in zone coverage, he's able to lock it on his man, recognize what they're trying to do to him. And they're going to try to throw a quick slant here. That's a 3-step drop by the quarterback, and throw the ball in between the zone and 2 defenders, and Wade Davis is right there to be able to break up the play and really put Scotland in a bad predicament in 3rd and long, which they're trying to avoid.
Well, they converted last time, a 3rd and 6 with the throw to Gerald Williams. This time, 3rd and 9, just into Berlin territory.
Blue 98. Huts.
Stern will throw again. He looks for Dante Hall, and Hall's dropped the football. Now, who's got that? I think Joe O'Neill may have forced the fumble, and they're ruling it incomplete anyway, are they? Incomplete pass, but Hall, who's had trouble handling the ball, coming up with another problem. That could have been disastrous for Scotland. Instead, the punting unit comes on.
Well, Dante Hall, he's playing a different position, and that's kind of one of the emphasis this season here. He's moving from the running back position, where he did a great job in college. It's his first year playing receiver, and it's even tougher playing the slot position because there's more defenders. And he's just now getting acclimated to playing outside, and that's very tough. When you play in the slot, it even makes the receiving position even tougher.
So Brad Costello will kick to Peyton Williams, who was returning punts last year for the Indianapolis Colts.
Okay, let him go, let him go.
Good high hanging kick. But he's going to go into the end zone for a touchback. No chance of a return there. They're very anxious about Peyton Williams and his return potential, the Scottish Claymores. So, the Berlin Thunder will take the field behind the arm of Jonathan Quinn, allocated here from the Jacksonville Jaguars, and looking very solid already. The line in front of him: Haygood, Washington, Kalick, Estes and Williams. And Kutain and Jones, the wideouts. Nuno, the tight end. Ahmad Merritt in a 3-wide receiver package with Ricky Brown in the backfield. They have three running backs, the Berlin Thunder, that all share time, and the 3 of them decided together, hey, we're going to share time.
And Brown is definitely their power back. They have 3 different backs that do 3 different things.
They fake the end around and give it on the ground. Not much doing there, though. Dusty Renfro coming up and making the stop. Jabbar Threets was there as well, a pickup of just a couple. Let's take a look at the defense. Defense Threets, who was in on that stop with Antonio Dingle and Chris Ward on a 3-man line. Brooks, Miller, Renfro and Dunlap are the 4 linebackers, and in the secondary, which has been torched this season, McClellan and Gray on the corners, Whitfield and Riley the safeties. Second down, they will go on the ground. Ricky Brown looks for yardage inside. He'll back up another 3. Chris Ward, the defensive end, making the stop.
It's interesting with Berlin coming out. You thought they were going to throw the ball because they have the matchup with receivers and defensive backs, but I think they're a little intimidated by Scotland's front line with Chris Ward and Antonio Dingle. Both of them are dynamic players at the point of attack.
And Threets has made some plays this season as well. From the gun on 3rd and 4. Oh, and the snap is straight to Ricky Brown, but they don't catch the Scotland defense out. They tried to fool him. They weren't biting Jamal Brooks on the stop.
Well, I don't really understand what Berlin is trying to do this first series. They're trying to run the ball and get their running attack going. Trying to a little trick play here, a direct snap to the running back and get Brown into the flow of things. But their strength is throwing the football, and I think they're going to have to get back to that in the next series.
So Brian Moorman almost had it blocked. This special teams unit of the Scottish Claymores very aggressive. Dante Hall will look to get a return going from the 25-yard line. Runs into a bunch of trouble, coughs the ball up again. That's the second time for Dante Hall, and this time it really is costly. No official word yet. And now it is, and it's a fumble, and Dante Hall has coughed it up, and the warning was there. Di Moroncola, I think it was, that recovered it. And a big play on special teams with the Berlin Thunder. We were talking about how good on special teams the Claymores were. This time a blunder.
Right. This is exactly the thing that's been helping them stay in the first 2 games they were in. I think Dante Hall is kind of taking it for granted that he's not a running back anymore, and he's not covering the ball up the way he would do as a running back. He's carrying the ball a little too loose, and he's already fumbled the ball or had the ball knocked loose from his body 2 times early in the football game.
So first down once again for the Thunder, this time at the Scotland 29-yard line, and Quinn will go to the air, and he's got a man on first down, Jörg Heckenbach, the big German, who is a very much an important part of this offense. He's 6'3", a big target, and he's got good hands, Chris.
Yeah, I love him. I love him. He's a national player and very strong. I mean, he has the height and the size. Now, this is the kind of size a lot of receivers or personnel directors in the NFL are trying to go to now. And he's really got fairly good hands for his size, but also his route running is very improved.
5 years in the league, Heckenbach. His first touchdown came last week. More fun and games. They give it to Ahmad Merritt on the end around, and Peter Voss is showing us some stuff offensively here in this opening series, Chris.
Yes, I need to talk to Peter Voss because last night in the production meeting he told us a different thing, and he comes out. So I'm gonna have to have a meeting with them at halftime to find out what they're really going to do the second half.
He'll do that, the Silver Fox, won't he?
Well, he has definitely thrown us off.
Yeah.
Telling us they're going to throw the football and throw it down the field. But he's mixing it up, and he has a great quarterback. He's taking some of the pressure off him by being able to run the football more.
Second down and 4 for Quinn. Claymores crowd getting into it. Quick swing pass. He's got a man once again, and looking for first down yardage is Ahmad Merritt. I think he's got it spinning away from tacklers. First down and goal for the Berlin Thunder.
It's nice because he's giving Jonathan Quinn a time to get into the flow of the game, giving him some short, quick-hitting things. They have a nice little swing screen right here to the receiver. The receiver's in the slot. The outside receiver's going to try to get a block, and just enough to get the ball inside the 5-yard line and get the first down. Now he has a great opportunity here. He can either run the ball or he can go outside to Yorkman, who has the size advantage on the cornerback.
Out of the I formation this time. On the ground, play action. Quinn's going to try and head for the end zone. Now he fires and it's incomplete. Quinn was pursued by Rob Flickinger. I think he was trying to go in alone. Flickinger stopped that, and it was incomplete, looking for the big tight end, Scott Osborne.
See, I like Quinn. I like the decision to be able to get rid of the football. He throws the ball in a position where no one can catch it except himself. You get a little pressure to the outside, instead of running out of bounds or throwing the ball, throwing an interception, because once you're inside the 20-yard line, you want to always protect the field goal. Always protect the 3 points, or at least give your kicker the opportunity to put your team on the scoreboard first.
And this is where the Thunder looks to the tight end, Scott Osborne. He's only had 2 catches all year. They've both been for touchdowns. Demetrius Brown is the motion man. Quinn passes, touchdown, Berlin Thunder. It's the other tight end, Carlos Nuno. And Nuno celebrates his first catch of the season with 6 points.
Just nice placement on the throw by Quinn. He sees the defender on the inside of the tight end and puts the ball where only the tight end can catch it. But also, as you see during the course of the game today, Berlin is definitely going to be trying to attack Brian Gray, number 43 for the Scottish Claymores. They feel like he's the weak link in the secondary, and they're going to be going at him throughout the course of the game.
Axel Kreuzer will attempt the extra point. So midway through this first quarter, Dante Hall's fumble on the punt return proves costly indeed. Jonathan Quinn to Carlos Nuno, the Thunder in front early. So Axel Kreuzer had to re-kick the extra point after a flag against the Berlin Thunder, but he had no problem, the former German soccer star. And Jonathan Quinn had no problem there, and he does like his tight ends in the red zone, Chris. He's thrown 3 passes to his tight ends all year. They've all been for touchdowns.
Well, it's nice. It's another weapon you can utilize when you have 3 nice wideouts that he has. Sometimes the quarterback wants to fall in love with them, but down in the red zone, you need a bigger receiver. And sometimes the tight end has a better matchup than they do outside. They definitely have more field to work with, and Jonathan Quinn is able to take advantage of that and has been through the first 2 games of the season, as you can see through the stats.
On the other side of the ball, of course, Big disappointment for the Scottish Claymores. They've been living on big plays on special teams. That time they died on it. 5 plays, 29 yards, that's the result.
Well, I think part of Dante Hall's problem is, too, that he wants to make an impact on the game. He wants to make an impact as moving from a new position. And he's also been having trouble special teams-wise because the coverage or the blocking for him from kickoff return and punt return has not been great. Even though their coverage teams have done great throughout the season, I believe he's trying to force the issue and trying to make too many things happen instead of letting the game come to him.
It's a common mistake. A lot of young players make that, don't they? They want to, to mix my sporting metaphors, they want to hit a home run every time.
Well, sometimes you have to realize you can hit a single or a double and a guy might drop a ball. You might put them in a position where they can make a mistake. When you have athletic ability like Dante Hall has, you want the ball in your hands, but sometimes you have to realize that you're not in a position to hit the home run, and you have to settle for a double. I like that baseball analogy.
Yeah, so it works, doesn't it?
Well, it's the only sport that I didn't play.
I didn't play it either, if that's any consolation. That makes 2 of us.
I know if Dante Hall fumbles again, Coach Dahlquist's gray hair is going to be even more grayer after this game than it was before the game.
I think Dante Hall's ears will be burning as well.
Yes.
Let's see if he can atone for that earlier error as he fields Scott Bentley's shallow kick at the 15. Nowhere to go. He is down at the 25, a 10-yard return. It was Joe O'Neill, the linebacker, on the stop, along with Kim Cucci. So Clint Sterner back out again. Dante Hall still kicking himself, I'm sure.
Now, this is a point in the game where you want the ball to come back to you. You want another opportunity to make a play. But he's really put Sterner in a bind because now Sterner's going to be feeling the pressure. And after last week's game, he didn't play as well as he'd like to. And now the pressure always comes back onto the quarterback.
Anthony Gray in the backfield. The Claymores, remember, fancy their chances running the ball against the Thunder, but they're not doing it. And here's Sterner, though, taking off. And Sterner getting past the 30 and will pick up 8 yards. Dax Stromae coming up from outside linebacker and making the stop. There was nowhere for Sterner to go, and he spotted a hole and just took off.
Well, last week he had this same situation, but they got him in the backfield more often than he got rid of it. That's what you have to do sometimes if you don't have anything open down the field. What you really have is good coverage by Berlin's defense, and he has to tuck the ball away and make a positive play out of a negative play. Now they have 2nd and short and a number of options of what they can do now.
Good things happen from 2nd and 1.
Black 98, Huts!
4 wide receivers in. Something almost bad happened there, but Anthony Gray manages to bounce out and is eventually tackled by Richard Yancey with a pickup of 10 yards from Anthony Gray from the Philadelphia Eagles, a young man who was out of football for 2 years. He was working at home in Oakland, and he got a call from his agent saying the Philadelphia Eagles have signed you, they want to send you to Scotland. He thought they were kidding.
That's right. He wanted an opportunity to play. He thought his football career was over, and that's the great thing about NFL Europe. Some players who believe that their career is over, it gives them an opportunity to still play football. Now, he might not ever make it to the NFL, but right now he's having a good time playing the game that he loved to play since he was a little kid.
A lot of power there, Chris. He's not the fastest back in the game. He says he runs a 4.6, but a lot of power when he builds up a head of steam. On 1st down, Sterner will throw, looks for Gerald Williams. No chance there. Williams had the coverage with Peyton Williams. And Williams is a matchup that they will try and get Gerald Williams on Peyton Williams, because Peyton Williams is only 5'6", Gerald Williams 6'3".
Yeah, Peyton is very small but very quick. Anytime you have a cornerback of his stature, you know he's going to have great feet and the ability to break up on a pass, especially passes that are thrown in front of him. And right there, that was a good throwaway by Sterner, because if he had thrown that ball on time, on the money, Peyton would have walked chalk all the way down the field for a defensive touchdown.
Blue 98, Hut!
2nd down and 10 movement at the line. It looked like the Berlin Thunder bit. Antoine Young certainly was across the line very early. So early, in fact, he's not even protesting. Usually the defensive guys start pointing the fingers at everybody.
Well, everybody's always pointing. No one's ever made a foul that they want to admit to.
You've never pointed a finger on a football field, Chris.
False start, offense number 67, illegal snap, 5-yard penalty, it's still 2nd down.
Well, there's an irony. It was against Jay Humphrey, the center.
Well, sometimes the quarterback can draw even the center off. I think there was a miscommunication here of what the snap count was on. You have Jay Humphrey, the center. Well, he wants to snap it. He sees someone move. And I also think that the voice inflection by Clint Sterner kind of made Jay snap the ball before he wanted to. Well, I can't blame it on the kid from Minnesota.
Second down and long. Inside handoff, Anthony Gray. Gray's got nowhere to go. Manages to spin forward for 3 extra yards. Billy Gustin coming up, making the stop. Wade Davis was there as well. But they're going to be third and long once again, the Claymores.
Well, third and long is not an offensive coordinator's best situation. There are not a lot of plays you can pick up 12 to 13 yards. Puts a tremendous amount of pressure, not on the offensive line, but also on the quarterback. The quarterback has to hold the ball longer because it takes longer for the receivers to get down the field. And see if we can get Scott Cooper over. He's playing a slot receiver. See if we can get him open over the middle.
Blue 88.
1 for 2 on third downs today. Sterner from the shotgun. Has time, has a man over the middle. It's Dante Hall. Hall so far has held on to it. He's fighting for extra yards. First down Scotland. Joe O'Neill on the stop. And this time Hall held on.
Yeah, it's a great play because it's a great design because you have Cooper who has a lot of speed and he runs down the middle of the field and clears everything out. And you have Dante Hall who's going to come in on the deep square end, probably around 18 yards. And Sterner makes a good throw, stepping up into the pocket and throws him a bullet. This is what I like the best part about it. He's in traffic and he's covering the football up. And those are the skills that he learned as a running back that he hasn't been utilizing since he's been changed to wide receiver.
So Hall with a big third down catch. And on first down at the Thunder 40-yard line, Anthony Gray will pick up a couple. Mark Megner coming up and making the stop. That's going to be second down and long, Scotland. And really, a lot of people said, well, the Claymores will come in and just pound the ball on the Berlin Thunder, who've given up so many yards on the ground, but it's not really working out that way for Gene Darquist, is
Well, it doesn't work that way all the time because coaches watch film and they make adjustments. And also you have players who have pride, and anytime that you haven't been doing something well, you're going to overemphasize that in practice, and the players look at the film and they want to improve. And Berlin's run interior defense has improved in this ball game.
James Whalen is the motion man. He's been Sterner's key target in the first 2 weeks. Not on this occasion. That one is broken up. Looking again for Gerald Williams. That ball is hanging in the air. Peyton Williams on the stop.
It's great coverage. You're going to have to watch out throwing the ball. You have a better opportunity if he's in bump and run trying to throw the ball down the field. But anytime he's in off coverage, he's around 7 or 8 yards off and they're playing zone. But he reads the eyes of the quarterback, and he breaks up inside the receiver, and he actually had a better opportunity to catch that ball than Gerald Williams did.
Well, Peyton Williams has been in the league as a punt returner at 5'6". Could he make it as a corner?
It's going to be very tough with the receivers in the NFL. You have a Randy Moss 6'4", Jake Reed, Chris Carter 6'2", 6'3", just to mention the Vikings, of course.
From the gun on third and long, Sterner goes for Dante Hall again. He clearly hasn't lost confidence in him. Wayne Stukes was there to push him out of bounds, but Hall will pick up 9 and another Scotland first down.
It's an excellent call because he runs a route beyond the first down markers. Normally you see a lot of receivers run a play like that and they only go 8 yards and they need 10 or 11 for the first down. Sterner makes a great throw, puts it on his outside, gives him an opportunity to catch the ball, get the first down, and move those sticks. That's the name of the game, is to get first down.
Ball spotted at the 30-yard line for the Scottish Claymores. This drive began on their own 25-yard line.
Blue 98. Hits.
Gray and Whalen in the backfield. Sterner with as much time as he could possibly want. Can't find Gerald Williams. Flag comes in. Williams had drawn coverage with Dwayne Stukes, number 27.
Yeah, I think Stukes might have held him down the field. It's an opportunity to pass interference. Normally, well, the defensive backs never hold, and the wideouts, of course, we never push off. But
yeah.
I always tell the referee, don't call holding on the defensive back, but don't call pushing off.
Holding defense number 27, 5-yard penalty, automatic first down.
So Stukes allocated here from the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Well, there must be some type of injury because Stukes is playing the left cornerback. He gets trapped outside the receiver and just grabs his jersey right there. He felt as if he was going to get beat. I wonder, there must be a situation with Wade Davis. I haven't seen him in this drive. He must have an injury or something on the special teams.
Yeah, he's certainly not out there at the moment. Dwayne Stukes, whose father, Charles, played for the Baltimore Colts and the LA Rams. Did you ever play against him? Oh, no, you're not that old. I forgot. Sorry.
But I do appreciate it. That means I've been in the league longer.
You have.
It was a compliment and you didn't know it. A backhanded compliment.
So first down after the penalty. Whalen, the motion man. The pump fake. He's looking for Williams again. It's an overthrow. We have flags everywhere.
Definitely. They grabbed him everywhere. Great play. Great concept. They got Peyton Williams to bite. They realize that Peyton Williams has tremendous feet. He's going to try to play everything in front of him. Gerald Williams runs a good route here. They're going to try to do is throw a slant and go on him.
Holding defense number 21, 5-yard penalty, automatic first down.
Well, they've been filling Peyton Williams out. They realize he's very quick in man-to-man. They're going to run a 3-step drop, pump as if he's going to the post, and then go up top on him and try to get the touchdown. And Peyton did the right thing by grabbing him, because that's only a 5-yard penalty for holding compared to a touchdown. And actually, he made the right decision there by grabbing the receiver from behind.
It's got to be a matchup that Gene Dahlquist of the Scottish Claymores likes, though. Gerald Williams, 6'3", over 5'6" Peyton Williams.
Stay away from Wade Davis.
First down now at the 20. Sterner again looks for Williams in the end zone, just overthrow him, but he got that matchup again.
They might have to go in another direction. I believe Gerald Williams is a little tired right there. His legs got a little wobbly trying to come out of his route. Sterner made a great throw, but I don't believe that Gerald Williams had the legs to make it. As you can see him right there, he seems a little winded.
And there's Wade Davis. You were talking about him. He's back.
I was wondering where he was. I mean, I gave him all the height, pure cover corner. Now he takes a few plays off on me.
Well, they're playing the nickel package. He's covering the slot receiver, Williams. Randy Palmer is the motion man. Sterner with the handoff. Anthony Gray had no chance at all. Joe O'Neill, Dax Strohmeyer. Strohmeyer sniffed that one out. He might be a little bit shaken up on the play, but Strohmeyer read it all the way.
Well, that's the way those linebackers do. They hit you so hard, they knock themselves out. Dax makes it good. He's blitzing off the right side, and they was able to come around the line of scrimmage unblocked. And that's what they're going to have to do. They're going to have to be able to mix up the run with the pass to be able to shut down on the run productivity, because the first 2 weeks, as you can see, they've been getting gashed on the run.
It can only get better for the Thunder against the run.
Watch him.
Third down and long. 4 wide receivers in. Sterner working from the gun. Again, the protection is good. Sterner looks end zone, and James Whalen just had no chance with that. High and overthrown.
No, it's very tough. They've already picked up 2 third and longs. Now to pick up a third and long and this drive, he does the best thing. He throws the ball out of the end zone, give him an opportunity to kick the field goal to get the score to be 7-3. It's been a very good drive. They ate up a lot of time, which they came into the game trying to do, converting third down, and they're right in this ball game. They're playing with some momentum, playing with some confidence.
Rob Hart, the Englishman from Southampton, will attempt a 39-yard field goal.
Southampton, I've heard of them before. They got a soccer team there, don't
That's
they?
Right. That's my team as well.
Or are they? This year, they're not in the basement like they normally. They're in the middle of the pack, right?
That's absolutely right. I'm very impressed, Chris.
Well, I had to do my homework on mine.
Yeah, very impressed. Let's see if the man from Southampton can put the Claymores on the board. The kick is on its way. It's hooking in. It's got the legs, and it's good. And Rob Hart, the barefoot kicker who kicked at Murray State in Kentucky, has opened the Claymores account with 14 seconds left in the first quarter. We're going to take a short break. Back in just a moment. Scotland head coach Gene Dahlquist must be relieved that his team generated some offense, 75 yards and a field goal. Dante Hall must be relieved as well to make a couple of key catches to keep that drive alive as well after that earlier fumble.
Right, they need him to make a contribution to the team from a positive standpoint compared to the contribution he was making earlier in the ball game. But I think he's bounced back well. I mean, he's got a lot of internal pressure upon himself because it's difficult playing pro football at one position and then moving to another position.
Chad Holloman from the Falcons with the line drive kick that bounces around and is taken at the 25-yard line. And a rare carry there for Brock McGrew. Well, Chris Carter is a veteran of NFL Europe. Chris, I know it's your 4th season over here in Europe, so you don't need a reminder of these rule differentials. The game clock in NFL Europe starts after an incomplete pass, except the last 2 minutes of the first half and last 5 minutes of the second half. We have a 35-second play clock and 4 points for a field goal of 50 yards or more. And a rule they used to have, Chris, 1 foot in bounds was a reception for a receiver. You'd have loved that.
I definitely would love that. I don't like the clock starting after incomplete pass because the receivers have to run back to the huddle. You can get awful winded.
4 seconds left in this first quarter. Play action. Quinn going downtown. He's got a streaking receiver, but he overthrows Ahmad Merritt, who's blown by the coverage. And that will do it as far as the first quarter is concerned. Chris Carter of the Minnesota Vikings, soon to be former Minnesota Viking. Chris, I understand one more season for you and that's going to be it. Was that a tough call to make?
Well, it's very tough. I think the toughest part about it is the ability that I still have and the ability to still play several seasons. And that always comes into play. In the back of your mind, you're thinking the NFL, it's a great life, tremendous exposure, it's a lot of fun. So you play until you can't play anymore because it's once in a lifetime. It's not as if you'll ever be able to do it again.
Well, you've certainly graced the league, Chris, over 1,000 yards, a definite Hall of Famer. Nobody would argue with that. I don't believe it yet.
I'm trying to make it to the broadcast Hall of Fame. Then I'll be impressed.
Yeah, that will be something. 4 wide receivers on 2nd down and 10 for the Thunder. Quinn calls an audible. Pressure's on, he's hit as he throws. Absolutely flattened. Earl Riley, the safety man who loves to lower the beam, just flattened him.
They do a great job from a defensive standpoint, switching some things up. Jonathan Quinn didn't know he was coming. He thought the blitz was coming off his left side, but Riley comes off of his right side, and offensive linemen are blocking the interior linemen, so the defensive back comes free, and that's a good shot on a quarterback. But it's going to take a good shot to knock him down because he has the height, the size, the weight that you like from a pro-type quarterback. He can sit in there and take those hits.
You won't want to take too many of them, though.
No, you don't. It's hard to make a living on your back.
3rd down. The blitz is on again. Quinn's in trouble. Just gets rid of it, and the flags are in because he hadn't got out of the tackle box. Chris Ward, the old man of the defensive front at 27. And there's the call against Quinn.
Now, if he's old at 27, what am I at 35?
That's what they call him, Chris. The rest of the guys on the O-line, they call him, hey, old man.
Well, they call me the same thing. Ward makes a tremendous play coming from his right defensive end position, putting pressure, and I think it's going to be intentional grounding here. And I know he'll be excited it's intentional grounding because he'll still get credit for that sack. Sacks,
Yep.
Defensive linemen.
They love him. And it will be intentional grounding. Quinn hadn't got out of the tackle box. Quite sure what this conversation will be about in that situation. This is a fairly clear-cut decision. And once again, Scotland's defense showing good aggressiveness.
Well, they're going to have to be because they have to be able to keep Berlin's offense off balance.
Intentional grounding, offense number 12. The penalty will be administered from the spot of the foul since it's more than 10 yards. It's a loss of down, 4th down.
Well, right here you have the quarterback box. That is the position that the quarterback, once if he's in that position, he cannot throw the ball down or intentionally ground it or throw it towards the line of scrimmage. As you can see, Jonathan Quinn, he's not outside that imaginary box. It's a great call by the umpire there.
And it means that the punting unit is on. Brian Moorman will kick it to Dante Hall. Moorman gets off a good kick. Hall calls for a fair catch into the sun at the 33-yard line. So the Scottish Claymores, after a sluggish start, getting themselves back into this. They'll have the ball when we return. Bad news for the Scottish Claymores offense. Vaughan Sanders has an ankle sprain, a right ankle sprain. His status uncertain. That leaves them with Anthony Gray and the Englishman Steve Hutchinson as the only running backs.
That doesn't look good.
It puts the pressure on this man here, Anthony Gray from the Eagles.
Well, definitely, he's more of a power back. He doesn't have the speed that Vaughan Sanders has to be able to hit them up through the middle, but also to be able to get outside.
On 1st down from their own 34-yard line, Sterner will throw. Now he'll step up and take off, and that was there earlier for him as well, and he's found a big hole this time. Still running, works his block as a flag comes in from the defensive backfield, but Sterner just scampered for 25 yards. Mark Megner eventually pushing him out of bounds, but we'll have to check that flag.
Sterner's doing a great job as far as looking down the field. Sometimes they have the coverage where you can throw the football, but sometimes you just have to tuck it away and try to make something happen. And that's what he's able to do on this play, even though the play is going to come back.
Illegal block in the back, offense number 1, 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul.
You almost knew it was going to be Dante Hall. It's all or nothing with this fella, isn't it?
Well, he's got me confused today because going into the game, you think that after watching him play practice yesterday, he looked like he was focused. But today he's making a lot of bad mistakes, and some of those things can really hurt the team in the long run. It's killing the momentum. Even though this is a penalty that it's not going to take them back to 1st and 20. It's going to take them back to 1st and 3 because it's the point of the tack type foul. But they had a big play down the field.
That's right. It's wiped 18 yards off it. As you say, 1st and 3. Whalen was the motion man. Anthony Gray is absolutely flattened. Thomas Washington, the big defensive tackle, the first man there. So much for Berlin being soft against the run.
And Jesse Warren. Jesse Warren he's been playing defensive end, but the coaches feel due to some injury and some personal problems that John Harris had, the number 90, who's normally the starting defensive tackle. They moved Warren inside, and they believe he's a better player inside, as you see him here making the tackle behind the line of scrimmage. Because what happened to John Harris, they believe it's going to really give them an opportunity to be a strong defensive line through the rest of the season.
Loss of a couple. They'll go back on the ground. Anthony Gray spins his way for 1st down yardage. Wrapped up by Antoine Young. 1st down Scotland. As you know, the race for World Bowl is underway, and you can find out everything you need to know about the NFL Europe League's championship game by logging on to worldbowl.com. It's got everything you need to know about World Bowls past and present. Chris Carter will tell you who won the very first World Bowl, and if he doesn't, I will. London Monarchs, Chris.
London Monarchs.
You knew that. I was there.
That's a name from the past.
It is indeed.
I appreciate you putting me on the spot, Mike. I knew it. I was just getting ready to say it.
1st down Scotland.
Pretty good there.
Stern up, play action. Has time. Can't find Dante Hall. Very high throw. Peyton Williams was jumping around trying to pull that one in. If Peyton Williams had been 7'6", he might have got it.
Yeah, he might have got it, but he would have caught it though when the defensive backs would have flattened it. You know, as a receiver, you don't like the ball high when it's coming across the middle. As you can see, they're playing man-to-man. Now Sterner's going back. He's going to look over his receiver, but somehow one of the receivers ran the wrong route. Dante Hall, or the tight end there. There's no way the two receivers are supposed to be that close together. The way Dante Hall's game's been going, it was probably him.
Clint Sterner, 4 of 11, continuing to struggle.
Blue 98.
But so far showing a little bit more composure than we've seen in previous weeks. Now the pressure comes from the outside. He is nailed, somehow manages to scramble away twice, and he's running for his life here. Still can't find anybody, and is eventually chopped down in the secondary by D. Moroncola. How he got away from Jesse Warren, I will never know.
Well, Jesse Warren's going to be putting pressure, and the thing about Jesse today, he's going to be coming from a position that he's not that familiar with. Because he's playing inside. He can get to the quarterback a lot quicker than Clint really realizes. They're used to seeing Warren on the outside, so they don't have any film of him and tackle. So right here, he's able to corral the quarterback. Right here, what Clint has to do is he's made a great play out of nothing, but throw the ball away. Don't take the yardage loss. Right here, he takes the tackle, and it's still a 5-yard sack. Throw the ball out of bounds, move the ball back up to where it was. It could have been 3rd and 10 instead of 3rd and 15.
Horrible on 3rd downs all season long for the Claymores. 3rd and 15 from the gun. Can Sterner snap that streak? He's got a man, Joe Perez, with the catch. 22 yards. He beat Davis, and Stooks got himself open. And Perez, who had a fumble last week, hangs on for a big one this week.
It's a great catch, too. The ball's thrown behind him. Sterner sees that there's a void in the defense, and he wants the receiver to sit down, so he throws it a little bit behind him, and he's able to make a good play. He's going to come off the ball with good speed. He's going to go to the inside of the defender. He wants the inside coverage to kind of back off, and he's going to sit there in the little hole there, a little square in or a deep curl pattern that is very effective on 3rd down, especially 3rd and long.
1st and 10 Scotland in Berlin territory.
Blue 98. Hit.
Perez is in motion. Sterner will throw on 1st down. He's got a man, Anthony Gray, just lost it. Juggled the thing, tried to hang on and couldn't, and it'll be 2nd down and 10.
Well, Gray, he wants to make a contribution. He's going to have to carry the workload from a running back standpoint, but another way to get him the ball is get him on the outside and get him in the flat. Let him catch the football. I mean, he's the only back with any type of experience as far as carries this season, and he's going to have to play these next 3 quarters, given that the starter, Vaughn Sanders, is out for the game.
It's certainly looking that way for Sanders. 2nd down and 10 after the incompletion. Scott Cooper into the ball game. Dante Hall is wide left. Cooper wide right.
Coming.
Gerald Williams is in motion. Sterner is nailed and it's broken up. Great defensive play from Di Moroncola. They were looking for Dante Hall, but no blame attaches to Hall on that one. Just a great play from Moroncola.
You can see the inexperience by Dante Hall on this play. Instead of going to the football, he tries to wait for the football to come to him. And Di Moroncola, he gets in there and gets the opportunity to get ready to almost get an interception here. What you're going to have is he's going to be running a deep post pattern in between the cornerback and the safety. Right here, when the ball's in there, you have to go to the football. Don't let the football come to you and keep the defender on your back. He should have broke his route a little flatter and came across the face of the safety and tried to come out on the other side of the field and have an opportunity to also catch the football but make a big play.
Chris, I know during practice and on the field in warm-ups today, I know you talked to a few of these wide receivers just about their game.
It's 40 seconds.
Did you get a chance to talk to Dante Hall, or is that something you're going to be trying to do next week?
Well, I talked to him yesterday, and I was at the practice yesterday, and then also last night in the meetings that we had. And you tried to give him some pointers, but I didn't think it was essential for me to tell him a lot about receiving because he's really trying to make the switch from a running back. Now, the other receivers who have been playing receivers since high school and through college, you can try to help them out. But next week, I'll be at the practices, and I'll definitely try to give him a few pointers.
From the gun on third down, Sterner feels the pressure. He's got nowhere to go except down. Mark Migner made sure of that, and a big defensive stand from the Thunder.
When you get in a position like that they're in third down and long, and they've been in third down and long several times. You're going to get a blitz from the right side. They pick up the blitz, but the coverage down the field is very good. This is what you call a coverage combination sack, coverage and the rush. The rush is good, but the coverage downfield allows them to get there in their rush lanes, take their time, get rid of the defenders, and still get to the quarterback.
So Costello will punt to Peyton Williams, who waits at the 10. Costello gets rid of a high hanger. A fair catch called for and made at the 8-yard line by Williams. So less than 9 minutes remaining first half. The Berlin Thunder continue to protect that 7-3 lead. Last night in Dusseldorf, the Barcelona Dragons beat the Rhein Fire in overtime. Jarius Jackson with this touchdown pass to Tony Simmons, the key play. That in overtime to win it. That's why Barcelona are 3-0. That's why everybody else in the league is trying to keep pace with them. Peter Vass knows his team need to win here to go to 2-1. Equally, Gene Dahlquist on the other side, he knows his team's got to win just to stay in pace. Because with Barcelona streaking and only 2 going to the World Bowl, the pressure's on these other teams.
With Voss being a former Barcelona coach, though, he realized that Barcelona gets off to a fast start almost every year.
We've got flags everywhere. Now we have another officials conference. Kirk Dornan is our referee today. More deliberation.
Encroachment, defense number 96 making contact with the center. 5-yard penalty, it's still first down.
Doug Miller assessed. Well, I gave you the score last night from Dusseldorf, the Barcelona Dragons beating the Rhein Fire in overtime, and the poor old Frankfurt Galaxy can't buy a break at the moment. Amsterdam winning against the Galaxy 28-14. Clarence Williams, a big day for the Amsterdam Admirals. Who's going to have a big day here? It's first down, Thunder leading by 4. Play action. Quinn looks, has a man wide open and complete straight down to the 24-yard line to Demetrius Brown from the Pittsburgh Steelers. He was on their practice squad last year. First down.
Now, Demetrius Brown is a receiver that I've been impressed with after seeing him. He's a receiver that can play outside, but he's also a receiver that can play the slot. He has an option route right here. He's going to work the middle of the field, try to fill the void where there's no defenders. He's a big target, too. And a lot of NFL scouts, they really love the big receivers in year 2000.
Rodnick Phillips gets the carry. We mentioned this earlier, Chris. There's 3 running backs. All have been allocated here from the NFL to the Berlin Thunder. Rodnick Phillips, we see there from the Seahawks. We saw Ricky Brown from the Bengals, Martre Hill from the Browns. And the 3 of them said, hey, we're all going to have 7 plays and then we're going to rotate.
But they have a great attitude. You can't run this type of system, alternating the players every 7 plays, unless all the guys have a great attitude.
Very unselfish. So here's Phillips getting the carry once again. Flags coming in as Phillips is chopped down at the 33-yard line. Brian Gray was the first man there, and it's a hold against the Thunder.
Back talking about the running backs, I think it's a great situation for the coach to look at the three athletes and say that yes, all three of them should have the opportunity, because this is a league where you want to develop personnel, and all of them have been allocated by the NFL, and give them all an opportunity, an honest opportunity to prove themselves and also to improve their skills.
Holding offense number 60, 10-yard penalty, repeat second down.
As far as their pass catching and their running skills.
That's the veteran Jay Haygood, the left tackle. There's Ricky Brown from the Cincinnati Bengals, who started here. Now it's Phillips at center stage. We'll see Martre Hill later on. Second down and 13 after the penalty on Jay Haygood. Quinn gets pressure from Threets, but he's got a man wide open as well, and he can't quite pull it in. He was looking for Ahmad Merritt, who's the big play guy, and a flag is down where Quinn went down, and this may be going against number 92. Jabbar Threets, his body language suggests he's going to get hit for a late hit here, and there it is.
And Threets makes a great play here because he makes a great move to get to the quarterback. Coming off the left side, he makes a good move. He fakes it out. They got a TE stunt where the tackle and the defensive end.
Personal foul, roughing the
Are going to
passer,
switch
defense
assignments.
number 92, picking the quarterback up and jamming him into the ground. 15-yard penalty, it's an automatic first down.
Well, the crowd didn't like it. I mean, you'd expect some bias there. That looked a little bit
It's a
tough.
marginal call. It's a good hit by Threets. He hits him so hard, he's able to bring him off the ground. But there's also a technique that they utilize in the NFL, and that's the way you separate a quarterback's shoulder. You lift him off the ground, and then you put your body weight on top of him.
Jim Tomsula, the defensive line coach, a fiery character. Not happy with that either.
Well, he's upset because he knows that's exactly what he's teaching him. And it's a marginal call. It's a hairline call. And I believe that Kurt Donovan, the referee, the umpire there, or the referee, did a good job by calling. He has to protect the quarterback.
Quinn not needing protection on this occasion, unable to find a receiver. That's going to bring up second down. Brian Gray had the coverage, but no chance of a completion to Brown. So Jonathan Quinn a little bit up and down today. Just 4 of 9, not quite the numbers we were expecting from him. He looked really good last week, has struggled a little bit against this aggressive Scotland front.
I think Bob McNeil, Jack's son, he needs to get back to the short passing game, which they were very effective in the first quarter, which led to the first touchdown.
And there it is, right on cue. The tackle is made by Renard Cox, but the completion is there. It's not a big gain to Dwan Jones. Maybe 6 or 7 yards, but they've got themselves a 3rd and 5.
No, it's very effective because you're able to gain the 5 yards, and if DeJuan Jones is able to make the defender miss, it can be a bigger play. But it also puts you in a situation offensive coordinators love, in a situation where they can throw the ball or pass the ball. You want to be in 3rd, 2, 3, 4, and 5. You don't want to be in 3rd and long.
So 3rd down, 4 wide receivers in.
Watch the deep routes, all themes, all goals.
There's the protection, there's the completion. It looks like it might just be short to Brown. Renard Cox was there to wrap him up, and I think he might have saved the 1st down.
Very good tackle, right at the sticks. He's able to drag him back, keep him back from making the 1st down. Now they have to come up with a decision. Do they go for it, or do they punt it?
Well, they're still in their own territory, and they've sent Brian Moorman out there, the punter from Pittsburgh State. He played for the Berlin Thunder last year. In fact, they haven't gone for him. They sent him back, so Quinn has stayed on. And Peter Vass rolling the dice here, a statement of intent from the Thunder coach. Trying to draw him offside. And a timeout has been called by Quinn. They were trying to draw him offside, it didn't work.
I think there was contact there by Scottish defensive tackle. I think he made contact with the center.
There's the guy who made the contact, big Antonio Dingle.
Timeout, Berlin. First charge team, timeout.
And now Brian Moorman is back on the
This will
field
be
again.
a 30-second timeout.
I think Dingle makes contact with the center here. I think their helmets touch.
Ooh,
Oh, that's close.
very
Because
close.
I think that's nice. I mean, Dingle was almost offside, but Kalik, he kind of, once he sees Dingle in the neutral zone, he kind of takes his head and puts it in the neutral zone. That's what you call two guys trying to put their heads together.
I love the weight that they give Antonio Dingle, 315. Are you kidding?
Well, they're trying to be generous, and they also realize he's a sensitive big man. I mean, you can't actually put his weight on. It's kind of like a woman talking about her weight
Yeah.
or her age.
Or me trying to pass myself off as 150 pounds. It's just not going to go, is it?
Well, I've been to eat with you, and if you weigh 150, then I'm going to tell you something. I don't know.
Moorman. The pressure came again. They hit the punter, but there's no. Now the flag comes in. And it was a terrific kick from Moorman as well. But I've got a feeling that flag is going to go against the Scottish Claymores. Jabbar Threets once again.
He's made two plays that really hurt Scottish Claymore. They're in a position to get off the field, a change of possession. This is like a turnover. I mean, they're going to get the football at the 20-yard line, but he runs into the kicker to still give them an
Running
opportunity.
into the kicker, defense number 92, 5-yard penalty. That's enough for a first down.
And this time, Chris, it didn't look borderline.
I mean, that's a crucial penalty. I mean, it's a crucial penalty. At 5 minutes to go in the game, you're going to turn the ball over, give your offense an opportunity to go on the field. Now Berlin, with their explosive offense, has an opportunity to score with great field position, getting the ball inside the 50-yard line. They're in plus territory. I mean, if they're going to try to block a punt, which he's not accustomed to doing, he gets a swim move there. He has to lay out for it instead of trying to block the punt from standing up. You have to lay out and catch the punt when it comes off the punter's foot low, not high. I don't believe he's blocked a lot of punts in his day.
So the drive stays alive. The Thunder in Scotland territory. Play action from Quinn, who's got all kinds of time, and he's got a man once again. Brown is down at the 30-yard line. Renard Cox on the stop, but another 18-yard completion, and Quinn is starting to find his groove.
It's nice, but you got to give Quinn an opportunity to throw some shorter passes, which they did on the last series, to get his rhythm. You don't want to rely. I mean, he has a great arm, and he can throw the ball down the field, but I believe sometimes Berlin falls in love with throwing the streak routes and the 9 routes down the field too often. He's got a good arm. Pick them apart across the middle. Dink and dunk them until you find the open area, and then take advantage of them.
On the ground, Madre Hill, it's his turn. He'll pick up maybe a yard. He was gang tackled. Chris Ward was there. Ward had help. Pete Kalik, the center, lost his helmet.
I like Madre Hill because he's a change of pace. I mean, you have Roderick Phillips, he's kind of the slasher. You have Rick Brown, number 38, he's kind of the power back. Madre Hill is kind of the scat back and a little more shifty. A lot of moves. They can use him out at wide out and run him on reverses. Very, very versatile. Bring him out of the backfield. They can throw passes to him. So you have to watch him, not only from a running back position, but he can play a little wing back for you.
Second down long, play action. Quinn rolls, the pressure's there, and it's broken up. So that's going to bring up a third long. Well, we have players. Mike has Dwan Brown pays the price. He looks shaken up. Trainers are running onto the field, and Brown has barely moved out there. This is of some concern to Peter Vars.
Brown might have a hip injury or a rib injury.
He got speared in the rib.
Well, there it is. There's the hit. It came in from the big hitter, Earl Riley.
Anytime you throw the ball late across the middle, the great receivers become average, the average receivers become pathetic. A lot of receivers that want to catch the ball across the middle, especially if you throw it late. Do not throw me the ball late across the middle.
I mean, you're just so physically exposed, aren't you?
Oh, yeah, and those defensive backs, they like to get back at you when you come across the middle.
Well, Earl Riley got back at Dwan Jones for certain. This fella loves to hit. He missed week 1. And he came back and started making up for lost time against Amsterdam. We've had a couple of huge hits from him already today.
Oh, he's definitely a big hitter. He loves to hit. He's one of them kind
Please
of guys.
set the play clock to 25 seconds.
He's the type of player that anytime he sees a receiver in an uncomfortable position, he's going to try to nail him.
Well, we have Peter Vast wearing a microphone for us today and Jonathan Quinn, so hopefully we can listen in and hear the play call.
All right? You all right? What's he got?
Shot the rim.
Is you all right?
Meanwhile, we have another officials conference on 3rd and 9.
Please set the play clock at 25 seconds, and please set the game clock at 3 minutes 53 seconds.
We're having a couple of clock management issues here today in Glasgow.
Jonathan.
Thank you.
Let's just go slots over right, Shirley. Slots over right, Shirley. Bob, slots over right, Shirley. On one.
I like this. People remember Shirley Temple. She had long hair that was curly. What the receiver's going to try to do, they're going to run a slot formation to our right. They're going to overload the right side. The receiver's going to run down 10 to 12 yards and try to curl back. That's just a reminder for the curl route.
And instead it's a pick. Jamal Brooks, the outside linebacker, read it all the way. And once again, Scotland's defense comes up big.
Jamal Brooks said he never liked Shirley Temple anyway, so he's going to step in there and pick it off.
Jonathan Quinn throws a pick at a costly time.
He's on the right-hand side of the screen. He's going to drop into zone coverage. Jonathan Quinn doesn't look him off, but he throws the ball in coverage, believing he can get the ball in there into a tight gap. But he makes a great catch. Be able to turn the ball over and give the Scottish Claymores an opportunity to score before we go into halftime.
Well, plenty of time. They've got 3.5 minutes left. Quinn still pacing the sidelines, wondering what went wrong. What does Sterner do here? He gets some protection now. He has to tuck it in, and he's got an awful lot of work to do. And he fires, and he's incomplete. He was getting heavy pressure from Jesse Warren once again with Mark Megner. And Warren is having quite a day out there, Chris.
Yeah, he is. He's putting a lot of pressure, and just as the coaches talked about, they thought he was better in the interior part of the defense, and he's showing those skills today. The one thing that Scotland has to do is they have to try to get the ball to one of their tight ends. James Weller is Clint's favorite target because both of them were on Dallas' squad last year, and they got some chemistry, but also Randy Palmer, number 85. Try to get the ball to these guys during the course of the game. They haven't been able to do it thus far.
Play action. This time they find Whalen, and Whalen looks to turn the corner and goes out of bounds at the first down marker. He was pushed out by Moroncola, and from there they will move the chains.
I mean, Whalen has the best set of hands that they have on their team, and you can't go through 2 quarters and not throw him at least one pass. I mean, he's very versatile. He's an H-back type. He plays in the backfield. He's a lead blocker. He runs routes down the field, has great speed, great moves down the field. I'm very, very impressed with his ability. And I think if he keeps improving and adds a little weight, a little muscle, I think he can be a very effective tight end in the NFL.
So first down on the 10-yard completion. Sterner has some protection, has a wide open man. It's the other tight end, this time Randy Palmer. And as you say, we wait 28 minutes, something like that, for the tight ends. And now these guys are starting to get into the offense.
Well, the Claymores receiving core is not the best receiver core in NFL Europe. So you have to be able to take some pressure off of them. Throw the ball to the tight ends. The tight ends are very, very good. Sometimes as a receiver, you want all the balls to come out wide to you. But to make things make opportunities more available for you later in the game is by getting the ball to the tight ends or the backs. It allows you to make those big plays late in the game.
I know what it is, but
Then it becomes the outside backer.
First down at the 36-yard line. Sterner with a quick drop. Finds a man once again. Gerald Williams. He's off to the races. 15 yards. Pushed out of bounds by Moroncola. They'll stop the clock again. But it gets to the 2-minute warning anyway. So the Claymores starting to look impressive on this drive, but they're still down by 4. We're at the 2-minute warning here at Hampden Park. Gene Dahlquist watching his Scottish Claymores drive the ball to midfield, aiming to capitalise on that Jamal Brooks interception of a Jonathan Quinn pass. Quinn Sterner closing in on 100 yards in this first half, which doesn't sound like a lot, Chris, but when you consider the problems the offense has had over the last 2 weeks, they'll take those kind of numbers.
Well, yeah, the numbers are okay. The yardage is okay, 93 yards, because he's on pace to throw the ball for over 200 yards. But what you don't like is the completion ratio, only completing 8 out of 18 attempts. Now, they have sacked him twice, and they have put some pressure on him where he's gotten away several times, but you want to be able to complete around 55% of your passes at the minimum.
Dante Hall is the motion man. First down from midfield. Sterner with a lot of time. He finds Anthony Gray, and Gray's blown past tacklers and manages to pick up 12 yards. Falling forward, Megner and Williams eventually on the stop. Great second effort from Gray.
Well, that's what you want, though. You want to be able to get the ball into the flats, a little change of pace, get him some higher percentage passes. I mean, Gray does a great job of turning the ball back up the field because it's a very, very short pass, but being able to turn it up and use his power, because he's a power back. He's not a scat back. Use his power to get the first down, keep the drive alive.
How about that? Scotland out throwing Berlin at the moment. Who'd have thought that?
Watch him.
First down at the
Blue,
39.
98.
And Sterner will throw again. And he goes for Whalen, just overthrown. He's just been a little bit off on 2 or 3 of those, Sterner. He knows that one got away from him.
But yeah, that's a bad throw, but also Whalen has to do a better job of taking a higher angle to give the quarterback more room to throw the ball. They ran this same play last week, and they missed it last week, and he was open. Whalen and Sterner have to get on the same page on this route, a corner route. You're throwing the ball to the corner pylon, but Whalen has to run a better route, and Sterner has to make a better throw. And you think with them playing in Dallas last season together, they would have some of those things ironed out. But that's why you're in NFL Europe, so that you can improve on those type of things.
Blue, 98.
So second down.
Blue, 98. Hut.
Still plenty of time for the Claymores to try and get on the board. Sterner's got a lot of time but can't find anybody, and here's the pressure again from Warren. He's got a man once more. They'll only pick up about 6 yards, but Anthony Gray managed to get himself open again and showing some versatility here, the running back from Philadelphia.
Well, that's nice. He's been able to show some of the things that people didn't know about him. They didn't have a lot of film on him. He's been out of football for a couple of years, but he's been very, very effective. A power runner, catching the ball, showing some good hands.
Sit on.
Third down and 6. Sterner tries to keep the drive alive. There's another completion right at the first down mark of Mark Megner on the stop, but I think they're going to move the chains on that one from where they've spotted it.
Now that's an effective pass play. That's what you want to be able to do. He sits right between the defenders, right beyond the first down markers, and Sterner makes a good throw. Puts a lot of velocity on it. He's got a good arm, but sometimes he's not able to make the correct read, and that time he was able to do it.
He does look for Whalen when he's in the clutch. He gets Anthony Gray this time, and Gray's got some room ahead of him. Nice moves from the big fella, and he'll pick up first down yardage again with that bit of juking. And this is a big man, Chris. He's 6 foot 2, 28 pounds, and he's showing us some fleetness of foot.
Yeah, he's a little
Timeout,
shifty.
Scotland. This is our first charge team timeout. This will be a 30-second timeout.
I think Coach Dahlquist is doing a tremendous job by getting the ball to some different people.
You can go for it again now if you want, and then we'll just come back with use a timeout if you have to. If you want, really, what are we on?
I'd like to go Cat Flat again, Coach. I think we can get Alex. I think we can get let's go Alley. There's 61 south, Alley. Scoop, I think is wide open. That's what I'm saying. But see, the Mike linebacker's deep.
Throw the ball away. Throw the ball away. Good. There we go. Gotcha.
Yeah.
So what they're talking about is run the alley. They're talking about the receiving point between the numbers on both sides. They normally run 4 receivers. The outside guys will split the numbers in the sideline on both sides, and the inside receiver, either being a wide receiver on one side and a tight end on the other side, he's going to split the middle of the field in the numbers. So look for someone either up those numbers or in the middle of the field.
With 12 seconds left. Now then. Got whistles before the snap.
Timeout, Berlin. This is our second charge.
Didn't like the
team
coverage
timeout.
they were in.
This is a 30-second timeout.
They're going to be in quarters. They're going to back off of everything. Quarters man look.
Let's get 11, David. Let's get 11. No, we ain't gonna squat. Drop balls, get shit picked. I'm throwing the ball up for grabs. Here you go. You want it? Take it.
Okay, either side. Got it?
You got 2 timeouts, right?
I know.
That's the referee.
I think they're going to change the play. I think they're going to probably try to run something in the outside lanes believing that Berlin's going to play zone defense. Instead of trying to take a chance and throw the ball down the middle, which the ball can be intercepted, they can still keep the drive alive and also try to get the opportunity to get the 3 points to go to halftime 7-6 compared to 7-3. Coach Dahlquist is doing a good job too because he has to fill in a dual role. Not only is he the head coach, but he also has to be the offensive coordinator because Mike Deal, the offensive coordinator, had some sickness in his family back in the States, so he's not with the team this week.
That's right, it's not been a good week for the Scottish Claymores. They are coping with adversity. First down from the 15. What can Sterner do? The quick pass looks for Dante Hall, incomplete. That will stop the clock with 8 seconds left, or 7, depending on which clock you look at, and every second can count here for the Scottish Claymores.
Well, that's not a good route for Dante Hall because, for one, he's very new to the position. They're trying to run a quick slant pattern where the quarterback's going to take 3 steps back and throw into a tight area. And Dante Hall, I know coming from running back, those are some of the skills that are very, very difficult to learn in a short period of time. Catching the ball in traffic and also keeping the ball away in traffic once you do catch it. As we have seen in the first half, that he has not perfected that skill.
Well, they're going to have to be quick here. There he goes, looking for Gerald Williams in the end zone. Is it complete? No, out of bounds. D. Moroncola was there, and Williams just couldn't quite bring it in, but they still have enough time to kick the field goal.
But it's a good decision. I mean, throw the ball into the end zone. Yeah. You have a receiver who has a 4-inch height advantage on the defensive back. Give him an opportunity to make the great play, and if he doesn't make the play, then we still have an opportunity. Right here you have matched up one-on-one. See, what he should do is jab the defender inside to give himself more room. He tries to outrun the defender, so the defender, once he sees the ball, turns right to the receiver. That makes it almost impossible for the quarterback to fit that throw in to that tight area.
Rob Hart reduces the deficit to a single point as time expires in the first half here at Murrayfield in Glasgow. It's 7-6 Berlin over Scotland. Everything to play for in the second half.
Coach Dahlquist down by 1 at halftime. Compared to last week, what do you think of this first half performance?
I think as a team we're playing much better, especially offensively. We're helping our team some, keeping control of the football. We just need to do a better job of scoring some points now.
Had a few mental errors in the first half. How do you address that at halftime?
Well, nobody makes those mistakes on purpose, so we just try to get them to focus. Nobody gets playing with human beings, so there are going to be mistakes. We just have to overcome them.
Okay, best of luck in the second half, Coach. Wide receiver Scott Cooper is the only member of the Scottish Claymores that actually hails from Scotland. But during training camp, he was the one who was far from home. Claymores camp is held near Dunedin, Florida, 4,000 miles from Edinburgh.
Being in Florida, the first big thing is the weather. Back home, if it goes over 75 degrees, it will make headline news in our newspapers.
If Scott had to be away from home, he couldn't have gone to a better place. Dunedin has a long-standing connection with Scotland and still features many comforts from home.
Well, I guess while I'm over here, I'm a Scottish import, so why don't we nip in and see what's going on in here? Now I'm really excited, okay, because there's a soft drink back home that you can't get anywhere else in the world. Iron Brew, we call it Scotland's other national drink. I've been missing that stuff, I must admit. And what we got in here then? Now we're talking haggis. I don't know how many people know about haggis, but what it basically is a sheep's stomach packed with all the bits of animals that no one else eats. Oatmeal, and they throw a couple of spices in there so that it tastes good. A delicacy. Got all the ingredients we need for a traditional Scottish night. I'm going to have pine beans, washed in with iron brew. I'm going to sit and read my daily record and have a crunchy for dessert. Heaven. Why don't we go for a little walk in this small town and see what other Scottish connections we can find? Well, look what I found. I was wandering about Dunedin and I found a golf course, a little driving range called St Andrews Links, just like the famous one back home. On your day off, nothing better than just going out, finding a nice course, some of the guys, and going, hitting a few balls around. They asked me what my handicap is, I say my swing. I'm crushing these. I hope you're getting them. And the last golf ball, this has got to finish in a good one. On he does. It's in hole. Cinderella story out of nowhere.
After camp had ended, Cooper was able to return to Scotland. It was his teammates' turn to be far from home.
I look upon myself almost as like an ambassador for Scotland at camp. They probably think it's all bagpipes and kilts and stuff. They soon find out it's just a big city like most others.
With Scott Cooper making his teammates' lives easier, the Claymores can concentrate on producing a winning season.
Post, but you just took it inside.
Handle it. We'll make big plays, provided you believe you're going to make them. Offensively and defensively, I'm telling you right now, we ain't leaving this freaking place without winning. Go out there, fight like hell, fight together, and the thing gets done. Now let's go to work. Come on. We win now.
Berlin coach Peter Vass in the locker room a few moments ago. His team has the lead here, Chris, but the Thunder have just been a little bit flat in that first half, haven't they?
Well, you'd think they would come out with a little more enthusiasm, trying to do some of the things they did well in the first two games, and that's throw the ball down the field and make some big plays. Now, they did have the one turnover that led to a drive, but the one thing that's disappointing is they only have 63 yards passing offense. When you have the kind of receivers and the quarterback that they have, but also they're 0 for 4 on third down conversions. And when you're 0 for 4 on third down conversions, it's going to prevent you from having the opportunity to score, and it's also your offense is not going to be on the field. As you can see, they're being dominated almost 2-1 in time of possession.
In fact, the only good number, really, when you look at those stats, the only good number is the one we don't have there, which is the score. Berlin leading by a point. You wouldn't believe it on those numbers, would you?
Right. Coach Voss should be excited that they're still leading with those type of stats, and they're still leading 7-6.
Well, Jonathan Quinn has certainly looked more effective in the first two games in this NFL Europe season. He's having a tough time against this Scottish defense, which does play aggressive and tough. Those are not Quinn-type numbers at all.
Right, the numbers aren't that bad. The one thing is when you throw the run interception in the red zone, it prevented his team from putting points onto the board. Really, that's the really only bad decision that he's made. Scotland has played very, very good defense and has prevented him from putting up the big numbers.
Clint Sterner has been a little bit more contained in this game, hasn't he? We've seen him kind of going off and getting overexcited and yelling at people. I mean, he's kind of withdrawn himself a little bit this week, hasn't he?
Right, they're giving him a lot of opportunities. He's thrown the ball 25 times, and he had a lot of opportunities to make bad plays. And his emotions are under control because he has the type of personality where he wants to be a leader and he's fiery, but also he has to be able to harness those things because he's still a very young cornerback. Harness those things and still be a leader.
Marjorie Hill to the top of the screen. Lauren Kohler is back there with him as well. It's going to be fielded. A kickoff from Holloman by Lauren Kohler at the 1-yard line, and he manages to get past the first wave and is down at the 24-yard line. Roel Blenman, the veteran Londoner, on the special teams tackle. We seem to say that every week.
I mean, if he's still playing, I might as well keep on.
Exactly.
Playing.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. If it's good enough for Roel, it's good enough for you, Chris.
But the thing I like about Roel is he's a true football player. He loves playing the game. I mean, he's a national player. He loves playing, regardless of what they ask him to do. He can play wide out. He can play running back. He's played defensive back. He returns kicks. He covers kicks. And those are the kind of players you need to have on your team.
Been in this league 7 years now, Roel Blenman. Only teammate Scott Cooper has played in more games. Now, what can Quinn do? On first down, pressure comes. Quinn has to get rid of it, but he's found the big tight end Nuno, who scored the touchdown in the first quarter. Keith Miller, the middle linebacker, on the stop. We haven't seen much of Keith Miller today.
No, he hasn't done much. I kind of kept him away from the football, but I think that's also a credit to the center, Ryan Kalick. I think he's doing a good job. Anytime you see the middle linebacker disappear, it's because the center is doing a good job of blocking.
Pickup of 6. Second down and 4. Berlin Thunder on the ground once again. They go to ball, has been coughed up, and it looks like the Claymores have recovered it. There's the big break that Scotland were looking for defensively. Nate Terry, I think, is at the bottom of that pile. I think that was Ricky Brown from the Bengals that coughed that one up, Chris.
Well, he's running through the line of scrimmage, and it becomes very difficult because you have a lot of helmets, a lot of bodies coming from from odd positions. As you can see right here, he doesn't even see the helmet hit right on the football.
It was Keith Miller.
Yeah, and sometimes, and Keith Miller, he hasn't done anything the first half, so immediately he makes an impact, and that's why he's allocated by the Rams. The Rams really have a lot of confidence in his ability to really grow as a player.
So first down for Scotland in Berlin territory. Sterner, can he make him pay? Looks for Randy Palmer. Overthrown again. That's about 4 of those that we've seen in this ball game now.
Well, that was a tough throw because they had good coverage on him. I think Sterner did a good thing by not turning the football over. The one thing you have to realize is after a turnover, the defensive coordinators are taught to prevent the big play. So it's going to be hard to throw the ball over top of the defense. I don't know if that was the best play selection at that time of the football game.
There is David Duggan, the defensive coordinator of the Berlin Thunder. Working his unit, he's seen him burned on the ground in the first 2 weeks. Not here so far. They've tightened up against the run. So they'll pass again. Dante Hall looks to try and do some work. He's corralled and pushed out of bounds by Peyton Williams. And we have a flag. I think you saw it, Chris.
Yeah, I think we have a face mask. I think this is a good call right here because you get the ball to an explosive player out on the perimeter of the defense. I like this call on first down compared to on second down because it gives you an opportunity to get to second and medium. I think we have a face mask right here on this call.
Well, the mic's not working, but you can lip read that one. There is no foul. That's a strange one. How can a flag come out? It's no foul. Anyway, whatever. Third down.
That's what you call incidental contact to a man's face.
Oh, okay. Incidental fingers in the face mask.
Yes.
The ball spotted at the 31-yard line. 3rd down and 7.
And this is one of the point of emphasis coming into the game is improve on 3rd down, which they have done.
Yes, they were dire going into this game, the Claymores. They've really improved their 3rd downs. Can they convert another one here? Sterner drops to throw. Protection is there. He's got Hall. Hall gets the first down and more. Inside the 10 or 15. Could be gone. Touchdown, Scotland. You can see the potential in this young man, Chris.
Oh, he has the potential. I mean, there's no question about his running ability. The only question is about his route running and his ability to catch the football. As you can see right there, on this play, he's able to utilize all the things, and that is the reason why he had over 4,000 all-purpose yards at Texas A&M. And that's why the Kansas City Chiefs, they love his ability to be able to run with the football.
So, in the first half, it was a Scotland turnover that led to a Berlin touchdown. Here in the second, a Berlin turnover leads to Scotland's first touchdown of the ball game. Rob Hart, the Englishman, is out there to attempt the extra point. Hart has never missed in a 4-year career. Dante Hall is saying, yeah, I can do this. I can play this game. I can be a receiver. On that evidence, no question. Hart attacks on the extra point. Now we have a 13-7 ball game. Once again, turnovers costly.
The turnovers, and especially in a tight contested ball game, the turnovers are even more evident as far as who's going to win this game. I think Clint Sterner, he's doing a tremendous job from a stat standpoint, but I think the one thing that I'm most impressed with him is his ability to lead the team. They've really struggled the first 2 weeks of the season. They've had some arguments between the coaches and players, but today he's leading his football team the way a quarterback is supposed to do. And I think he has a tremendous example in Dallas as far as Troy Aikman. And Troy Aikman was trying to emphasize some of these things to him, not only as far as his throwing accuracy, but his ability to bring his teammates together to be a champion. And last week, this was not the scene on the sideline. They were bickering back and forth. He was arguing with the coaches as far as the play calling.
And that's not going to do you any good. That is not being a leader. That's being a pain in the backside, quite frankly, isn't it? And he's calmed himself down and looks a better player for it. Holliman kicks off. Ahmad Merritt's gone deep. That's horrible from Holliman. That's going to give Berlin excellent field position. Nothing deflates you like a special teams play like that after you just scored a touchdown. But coming back to Clint Sterner, he really, the penny seems to have dropped for this guy this week.
The one thing, he has leadership ability, and he showed that when he played for the University of Arkansas, leading that team and helped turn around that program. But once you come into pro football, you have to get acclimated to a new environment. And you can't do some of the things you did in college. When he was in college, when he was a junior and senior, he had the responsibility of being a leader, and he could probably be more vocal. Right now, he needs to kind of ease his way into that relationship because some of these players are a lot older than him, And he needs to treat them like men and give them some type of respect. And I think gradually he's going to learn that. And today he's doing a much better job compared to in last week's game. He's having fun. He's smiling on the sideline.
Yep.
And last week we did not see a smile come from his face.
We're not seeing too many smiles from Jonathan Quinn at the moment. What can he do here for the Berlin Thunder? He's got excellent field position. He goes over the middle again. He's got a man. What a hit. Ahmad Merritt ran into Earl Riley, who's establishing himself as a reputation as the hitter in this league.
Oh, if you come across the middle, Riley's going to hit you. And especially in zone coverage. We got the slot receiver right here. He's going to be free, but he doesn't see Riley coming from the other side of the screen. When the receiver catches the ball in that position, he has to run flat, and he can run away from the defender. You have to watch those safeties when you're playing in the slot because you can get up on top of them a lot faster than you do when you play in the outside lanes.
A 13-yard completion. Merritt did a terrific job just to hold on. First down in Scotland territory for Berlin. Quinn will throw again. Gets it off. It was almost intercepted by Dusty Renfro, who had one in game one a couple of weeks ago. Should have had another one there. Quinn is not looking composed, Chris.
No, he's not, but sometimes when the quarterback throws a bad pass, it's not the quarterback's fault, it's the receiver. Ahmad Merritt here, I think he's seen Riley lay that hit on the other receiver come across the middle, so right here he stops running his route. He's supposed to come in front of that linebacker and come out on the other side, but that's what receivers do. The harder you hit them, the wider they split and the slower they run.
Ricky Brown, who fumbled earlier, manages one tough yard. Rob Flickinger and Earl Riley were in there on the stop, and this Scottish defense is building up a head of steam here. Nowhere to go for Ricky Brown.
Well, the Claymores are doing a tremendous job defensively because they realized they were facing a tremendous challenge in Jonathan Quinn and his receiving core. But what they're doing is keeping them off balance. They're blitzing when Berlin is not expecting it, and they're keeping them in third and long situations. This is the fifth opportunity in third down, and they haven't picked up one yet.
Sad. 190.
Quinn drops. They pick up the blitz. He's got a first down. Merritt hangs on and gets extra yardage as well. Works his blockers. Spins away from tacklers as well. Great effort from Ahmad Merritt. A flag comes in. That could be a face mask. Great play from Merritt from the Chicago Bears.
This is one thing I saw watching the film of Ahmad Merritt. Not only was he shifty and a little different from a size standpoint than the other receivers, but he has the ability to make great moves down the field. Great running ability after the catch, the yak as they would call it, yards after the catch, as he displayed on that play.
Well, again, the mic is out, but face mask was the call.
It's not Jonathan Quinn. I think that sometimes Jonathan falls in love with the downtown because he has the downtown throw because he has a big-time arm. But sometimes you can get the ball to a good receiver underneath the coverage and give him the opportunity. Let him say, here, take this, and you work with it. Right here, I think he had some. I think that's Riley. He thought Merritt had something in his face and was just trying to get it out.
First and goal, Berlin. Looking to hit back. Quinn, quick drop. Looks in the direction of a receiver in the end zone. He's got him. Touchdown, Berlin, Kenny Coutain. That's an impressive response from the Thunder.
That's what you call a great throw. Kenny Coutain, you have a receiver who's 6'2". You want to get him in the outside lane, especially inside the 10-yard line, and give him the opportunity to use his athletic ability to go up over top and make a play on the defender.
Axel Kreuzer, the former German soccer player, will attempt to put Berlin back in front. And he does. And a very quick response indeed from the Berlin Thunder.
I like that play. You have a Jaguar throwing the ball to a Panther. You're not going to see that too often.
You certainly are. Now then, there's some pushing and shoving going on after the play there. Doug Miller involved in some discussions. Jonathan Quinn talking on the sidelines. Berlin back in front once again by a point. Jonathan Quinn of the Berlin Thunder with his second touchdown pass of the ball game puts his team back in front.
Well, he makes a great read here. Anytime in the goal line, he's going to get the snap from center and make a quick one-step drop. Makes it beautiful, what they call dropping it into the trash can, and give Kenny Curtain an opportunity to use his height at 6'2" and use his athletic ability to be able to go up over the defender in the back of the end zone.
And here's a guy they haven't really been able to get into the mix offensively. That's only his 4th catch of the season. They've managed to find Merritt and Jones and Brown, but clearly Curtain, as you say, with that size, has got some potential too.
Well, he could be a starting receiver on another team in this league, but he has the misfortune of playing for a receiving corps that's the strongest in the league.
Dante Hall bounces away from tacklers and is eventually down at the 28-yard line. So we've started off with a little explosion of offense here in this second half after points were hard to come by in the first half.
Right, we've had 2 very, very good drives. They've mixed it up, the pass and the run. Also the short pass with the long pass. Now, Clint Sterner has to respond here to Jonathan Quinn's challenge as far as getting them back into the driver's seat. But don't put too much pressure on himself. Let's get a couple first downs and try to take advantage of the clock. Try to utilize the clock.
Blue 98, hit!
First down blitz is coming. Sterner gets hit as he gets rid of it. He's got his man on the far side. And it's Dante Hall again. Dwayne Stukes on the stop. They'll give Hall maybe 4. That'll be 2nd down and 6.
Yeah, but it's a good play on first down, though. Takes the pressure off the quarterback, takes the pressure off the offensive line. Get the ball out to your speedster, who's having a fairly good game. I mean, he made some mistakes early in the game, but since then, he's made some big plays. That's going to give them the opportunity to win the game.
A lot of players would have gone in the tank after 1 or 2 early mistakes like Dante Hall, but clearly not this fella.
It's very, very difficult to recover from those type of mistakes in a big game early. It tends to weigh on your mind, and the mistakes become compounded as the game goes on. You continue to make more mistakes.
Blue 98!
2nd down and 7, officially a 3-yard completion. Sterner, another short drop, and Scott Cooper makes his first catch of the season. The veteran Glaswegian, that's good for 10 yards. And I know you've followed this league for 4 or 5 years, and I know you like this fella, don't you?
Yeah, I talked to him yesterday at practice, and he told me, Chris, with his accent, Chris, I have to make a catch. If I don't make a catch, the hometown fans are going to kill me. So I'm glad he's able to make a catch, and it's nice to be able to talk to a person like himself. He's got tremendous education, very, very smart, but he still loves to play the game.
And nobody's played more games in this league.
No, he doesn't want to get a real job. He just wants to keep playing football.
Now, who can blame him? This beats working for a living any day. First down after the completion on the ground. Anthony Gray looks to turn the corner, and Gray with that power finds a big hole. 20, 25, 30 yards could be gone for a big man. Great speed, dragged down inside the 10 from Demore on Kohler. They say he's slow at 4'6". He didn't look a 4'6" runner there.
Well, he has what you call game speed. Anytime he sees the defenders or sees a crack in the defense, he becomes a step faster than he is if you were timing him in the 40-yard dash. But anytime you have a hole like this, you're going to have great line play. You got Eric King open up a good hole there at right guard. He gives him the crease that he needs, and right there he's able to turn it on. He's got some speed. He's not only a power back, he's displayed some things today that a lot of people didn't realize that he had. His ability to break the big run, but also his catching out of the backfield has been tremendous. He's playing a great game.
He is, 54 yards. Remember, Vaughn Sanders, the other back, out with an ankle injury, so Gray has to carry the load.
Flag 98, hit!
1st and goal, Scotland. On the ground again, Gray plows his way inside for some tough yards. They'll give him 3, make it 2nd and goal. Amazing to think this fellow was out of football for 2 years and just getting a phone call out of the blue like that. I mean, that doesn't happen often, does it?
No, it doesn't happen. I think it's kind of a storybook finish to his career, even if it finishes here in NFL Europe and he never makes it to the NFL. Because there are a lot of players out there who have the ability to play, but not really given the right opportunity. And that's why I think the NFL Europe is a tremendous league for other athletes.
2nd and goal from the 4.
Blue 98, hit!
Whalen is the man shifting. Sterner will look for him. He's got him wide open. Touchdown, Scotland. The Cowboy connection strikes.
I think we have a blown coverage on this play, but we got the Dallas from Dallas to Dallas. Great play fake. I mean, they've been banging Anthony Gray in there, so now they're going to motion Whalen to the right, fake it to Gray, which is going to suck the defense up, and a nice easy toss to Whalen in the flat. Now this is something they weren't able to do early in the game, and now they're mixing it up. They're getting the ball to different players in different positions, and that's why they've been able to score on the last 2 drives that they've had the football.
So the Claymores back in front. Rob Hart will attempt the extra point.
And he's never
missed
an extra point.
You're trying to jinx it. Snap, well handled. Rob Hart does the rest. And so once again, the Scottish Claymores bounce in front, 20-14, courtesy of the Cowboy Connection.
This play right here is set up by Anthony Gray. They've been running the ball so effective. What we have is O'Neal right here. He has Whalen man-to-man coverage. But they've been running the ball so good, and the fake to Anthony Gray sucks him out. He's like, oh, no, I forgot about my assignment there in the flat. Scottish Claymore designed a great play. After the way that they've been attacking the defense, that's a great play to run inside the 5-yard line.
Yeah, these two fellas know each other well. They ran the scout team in Dallas last year. And both of them got a very, very good understanding and a trust in that time. Sterner to Whalen, hardly a surprise. Got a chance to speak to Dave Campo in training camp in Tampa, and he said a lot of nice things about both these two fellas. I guess you'd say, well, he would, but I mean, he seemed very positive about both of them.
Right. I think that they're 2 people of some of the film that I've watched. They're 2 of the players that stood out on the film that really have some potential.
Holloman kicks it off. Ahmad Merritt fields at the 10-yard line. Merritt blows by Roel Blenman, and he's got blockers ahead of him and just stumbles a bit and is down at the 40-yard line. A good return from Merritt. And there's confirmation. Clint Sterner and James Whalen, both of them with the Dallas Cowboys last year.
Well, they might be able to develop the relationship that Troy Aikman had with a pretty average tight end named Jay Novacek.
Oh, he was pretty average, wasn't he?
He was pretty average.
Yeah.
Pretty average. But I think that Whalen has the opportunity to be a combination of not necessarily on the level of Daryl Johnson and Novacek, because he can play some H-back, do some blocking, but also do some route running.
Now, what can Jonathan Quinn from Jacksonville find in response? A lot of time. I can't find Ahmad Merritt, 2nd down and 10. The pressure was coming. Brian Gray had the coverage as well. And Quinn has been given a rough ride by this 3-man front of the Scottish Claymores today.
I think they're mixing it up. They're not only playing a soft 3-man front, and it's difficult too playing against a 3-man front, being you have a nose tackle, you have 2 defensive tackles or 2 defensive ends. It's a different look than you're used to seeing. And there's only a couple teams in the NFL that play this defense, and there's only one in NFL Europe that plays that defense.
Not much going on the ground on this occasion for the Berlin Thunder. Rodnick Phillips, it's his turn in the rotation. He won't get much. In fact, he may even lose a couple.
But you have to give Scotland's defense some credit. I mean, they're shutting them down. Not only are they putting pressure, but they're giving them, they're taking away the running game, which puts all the pressure back on Jonathan Quinn to throw the football down the field. And that makes it difficult. Even though you do have quality receivers, it makes it difficult when the offense only has one dimension.
And now the numbers are starting to look a bit more like the form book. Berlin struggling on the ground and starting to give up yards on the ground as well, although half of those 106 yards came on that one run from Anthony Gray. 3rd down and long, there's flags everywhere. We will wait for the call. But the preliminary indication is that the Berlin Thunder are going to face an even longer 3rd and long. That's Sammy Williams, the right tackle. Yeah, we can lip read.
Slots over left, Jets W, on 1, on 8.
Well, I think they're definitely going to throw a pass here. I'm going to take a wild guess at that one.
Well,
they're going to throw a pass and they're trying to get 20 yards out of it.
Well, they're going to need almost all of that to convert, and they've struggled on 3rd down. This is a long one. Quinn. A lot of protection, a lot of time, can't find a man. There was contact over there, and now the flag does come in. Kenny Coutain they were looking for. Renard Cox got tangled up with him. Late flag. Was it a correct flag, Chris?
Well, I don't know if it was the correct call. I know that there was some what they call incidental contact or contact down the field. Now the side judge on that play has to make the decision, was the ball catchable? Obviously he must have thought the ball was catchable. Because Curtain, you have him split out to the left side, and he's matched up. He's right here. He has one-on-one coverage. But it's 3rd and 20, so the defender should be off of him. He shouldn't be up that close on him. He makes a jam on him out of the chuck zone, so he could have called that. Then he calls the incidental tripping down the field, which I didn't think was a foul. The foul probably occurred early.
It's a first down to the Berlin Thunder in Scotland territory at the 37-yard line. Rodnick Phillips in the backfield, 4 wide receivers out on first down. Quinn feels the heat, down, sacked. The big guys up front once again. Chris Ward was there, Jamal Brooks was there, so too was Doug Miller. Take your pick.
They're putting a lot of pressure on him. See, they're going to bring Brooks from the right side. They're going to blitz him. That's a change of pace. Anytime you have a 3-man front, you have to be able to do some different things, from blitzes and stunts, so the quarterback doesn't know where they're coming from. The offensive line normally has the advantage unless they're able to bring someone like Brooks off the edge.
2nd down and 18, after a loss of 8 yards. The blitz is coming again. They try and work the screen, and they've got a lot of room here for Ahmad Merritt, and he shows his speed and picks up 19 yards. First down, Berlin. They made that look very easy.
Great call because Scotland's been rushing the passer, and the way you slow down the rush is by throwing the screen pass or running the draw. They've been putting a lot of pressure on Quinn, so what they do is bait him in to rush the passer and slip him out of the backfield, throw a little screen pass. On 2nd and 20, tremendous call, and get the ball to the 25-yard line to keep the drive alive.
Less than 5 minutes to go, 3rd quarter. The Thunder trailing by 6 here in the Glasgow sunshine. They're trying to do something about it. 3 wide receivers to the left. They give it to Rodnick Phillips. Phillips has got no chance at all. That play was broken up by Dusty Renfro and Chris Ward.
Now, Chris Ward is playing a football game today, and he's playing the run effective, but also playing the pass effective. And that's what you have to be able to do. He's really trying to work on a couple different things from a passing standpoint. His technique as far as rushing the passer.
2nd down and 10.
Right 90 all the way out.
Again, 3 wide receivers to the right for Quinn. The blitz is on. Quinn manages to get rid of it, and he finds Ahmad Merritt once again. 13 yards. We have a flag. And Jabbar Threets once again is the man protesting his innocence. He's not had the best of luck with officials today, does Threets. Is this one going to go against him?
It's either going to be roughing the passer or holding on the left tackle, Jay Haygood.
There's the hold. And that negates a very good catch from Ahmad Merritt. So this one is really costly.
Yeah, I mean, Haygood's got his work cut out for him because he's going against Jamal Threets, a tremendous pass rush on the outside. And Haygood's been a veteran of this league for several years. But right here, it's just a one-on-one matchup. Haygood sees, he grabs his face mask right there at the last moment.
Yeah.
We got a lot of people trying to get a little facial contact in this ball game today.
Instead of 1st and goal at the 12, it's 2nd and 20 at the 35. That's how big that penalty was. The blitz on again. Quinn steps up, gets away, unloads, looks for Ahmad Merritt. Touchdown, Berlin. What a response from the Thunder.
Great pass. But this is the kind of play that's not made with his arm, but it's made with his feet. Because he's got all kinds of defenders around his feet when he throws this football, and he throws a strike to the back of the end zone. And he has the ability, given his height and his arm strength, to be able to throw the ball over top of the defense. Great throw by Jonathan Quinn.
And Ahmad Merritt just blew by Eric Whitfield, the safety man. And as you say, a terrific response from Quinn. And these two offenses just raising the stakes with each possession here. Stakes getting raised for the kickers as well. Axel Kreuzer needs this one to keep Berlin's lead. Not entirely convincing, but it's in. Berlin back in front by a point once again.
Neither team added any more to their score in the rest of the third quarter, so let's pick up the action with the Thunder's first possession of the fourth period.
Welcome back to Glasgow. Nick Halling with Chris Carter of the Minnesota Vikings. Scotland coach Gene Dahlquist looking on. He's been very critical of his own performance in the first 2 weeks, Chris, which I think is brave of him, really taking that on the chin.
Well, it is. I mean, I like him being critical of himself, but I think there's a fine line there, too, where you lose control of the team if you're too critical of yourself, because sometimes the players will start to feel sorry for themselves, and then the blame that you put on yourself, they'll put even more blame on.
Yeah, they'll say, oh, yeah, it is all his fault.
Yeah.
And, of course, it's the players that don't execute.
Right, well, they're both in it together.
Exactly. Moorman kicks it away. Hall waves that one off.
Come on, catch the football.
Well, that was there, wasn't it? Down for the 28-yard line.
Go, Jack Wright, fire 6 flood.
Jack Wright, fire 6 flood. It's not one of the plays the Vikings run, but they're going to probably be a strong side right formation. Flood means they're normally going to flood one zone. If they're dropping 2 defenders to the right, then they're going to probably try to stick 3 defenders to the right.
Ball at the Claymores 28-yard line.
Well, the clock's running.
Almost a full quarter of play left.
Hey, Kurt!
Sterner complaining about the clock.
Yeah, I appreciate that. Last game was hell. Huddle up, huddle up.
Please set the play clock to 25 seconds and start it on the whistle. Thank you.
Let us huddle.
See, Clint still has memories of last week's game.
So first down.
Blue 98, hut.
Protection was good. Sterner finds Whalen. Whalen will pick up 7 yards, pushed out of bounds by Richard Jansen. Let's take a look at the numbers through 3 quarters. And as you'd expect, Scotland winning on the ground, but nothing between them through the air, and that is a surprise, Chris.
Ralph, there's 2 great stats here. You like that one and time of possession. Now, those are great stats because most of those yards, almost 90 yards of passing alone in the third quarter, and in the time of possession, they continue to eat up the clock and keep their defense on the sideline.
Second down and short after completion to Whalen. Whalen is shifting in the backfield. Play action. Sterner with a lot of time. Has a man once again to midfield. Peyton Williams was the man on the stop. But another first down, and it's Scott Cooper coming up with it. His second catch of the ball game.
Well, Cooper's doing a good job of getting involved in this game. I mean, he has twice as many catches he had coming into the game.
Peyton Williams still shaking
I
up.
like this here because Dante Hall is going to make this play. He's going to streak down the field. He's next to Cooper. He's going to clear out the zone, and right here, Cooper's going to come in behind him, getting the one-on-one coverage. Clint Sterner does a great job of getting off the double coverage of Dante Hall and getting onto the single coverage.
We still have a problem for Peyton Williams. He's shaken up, and while he gets treatment, we're going to take a short break. We'll be back with more after this. Peyton Williams back on his feet, none the worse for wear. Back on the field, Scotland with a first down just in Berlin territory.
I'm glad to see him up off the field. You hate to see players get injured, but in this type of game was tightly contested. The way Sterner's throwing the football, they're going to need him down the stretch.
They certainly are. He looked more winded than anything else. Just had the wind knocked out of him. Now first down at the Berlin Thunder 49-yard line. Still the Fire leading by that single point.
Blue 98. Blue 98. Hut.
Whalen, the motion man. The blitz comes, he's got Whalen again, and that play is working consistently now on a late hit out of bounds, and that's going to be a costly penalty against Mark Megner of the Rhine Fire, because Whalen was well out.
Well, he was definitely way out of bounds. That's a lot of middle mistakes. Roughing the passer, roughing the punter, hitting the guy out of bounds. Those are crucial penalties. I mean, Scotland right now, their offense doesn't need any help. And Berlin Thunder, they've been helping them with 3 or 4.
Unnecessary roughness, defense number 96, 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
That's really costly. Starts putting them close to field goal range right there.
Yes, they've made 3 similar plays to this, and they're dumb plays. You just can't make them at this point in the game. They don't need any help. He's out of bounds.
Clearly as well.
I mean, he hits him beyond the yard mark. I mean, do they believe the referee's going to miss that? I mean, they do miss a lot of calls, but they normally don't miss those.
14 penalties in the ball game so far. Peter Voss won't be impressed with that one.
Yeah, I don't think the 8 penalties is the time they're making the penalties and the type of penalties. They're big penalties. Most of the penalties have been 15-yard penalties.
So first down now, Scotland at Berlin's 28.
Blue 98, hut!
Pressure's coming, Sterner has to get rid of it, can't find a man. The heat is coming from Antoine Young. And it'll be second down and 10.
He did a good job of throwing that football away because Mega was trying to redeem himself. He was going to intercept. He was going to intercept that pass. But the one thing that helps out good coverage down the field is a good rush. And that's what they're going to have to be able to do to Sterner if they want to knock him off his game, is get a guy in his face. Defensive cover men love a good pass rush. They were able to get it that time.
So second down and 10. Three receivers lined up to the right. Gray alone in the backfield, and the bobble snap. Somehow they managed to get it to Gray, but Gray has no chance. Dax Strohmeyer, I think, will be credited with the tackle. Maybe a yard for Gray, but he had no shot there.
Yeah, that was the ugly play from the beginning. They're lucky they'll be able to get the exchange from the quarterback into Gray's hands, because it was on the ground for a while there. It could have been anyone's football.
Well, the Thunder, we said it before, getting absolutely smoked through the first 2 games on the ground. And in this game, there was that big 54-yard run from Anthony Gray. Apart from that, they've been a lot tighter.
Yeah, 3rd and 10, a crucial play in the ball game.
Blue 98, hut!
From the gun. Sterner looking for Dante Hall, who drops it. A flag came in. Hall looked like he could have picked that one up as well.
Well, it's tough to catch it when you got a guy holding on to you. That's a push and shove match there. It's a matter of who's going to get called.
D. Moroncola points at Dante Hall, who points at Moroncola, who's only on because of the injury to Peyton Williams. Now let's see whose number's going to be called. I'm not going to ask you, Chris, you're biased.
There are 2 penalties on the play. Holding offense number 75, holding defense number 24. Those penalties offset, replay, 3rd down.
So D. Moroncola gets 1 flag. Damon Nivens, the left tackle for the Scottish Claymores,
this
gets
is a
the
good
other.
call. This is a good call on the defensive back. I mean, that's all the defensive backs ever do is hold. I never met a defensive back. You can exchange those numbers to 80, and that being anyone, Deion Sanders, Aeneas Williams. They're hold. That's all they do is hold. I think they hold since they were kids. They teach them how to hold.
So we do it again. 3rd down. Again from the gun. Again 4 receivers.
Blue 98, hut!
What happens this time? Sterner goes the other way. Looks for Gerald Williams. Almost picked off. Perhaps should have been picked off. Peyton Williams back to health. Maybe the fact he was shaken up earlier meant he couldn't make that interception because it was there for the taking.
Well, Peyton Williams has the opportunity to change the ball game. He's right here. It looks like man-to-man coverage, but the snap of the ball, he's going to come up and play zone. He has help behind him, so he has the underneath coverage. Sterner makes a bad decision by trying to force the ball in between 2 defenders. But he has to make that play. If he makes that play right there, there's no opportunity for them to kick the field goal. There's no opportunity for them to take the lead.
Chad Holliman is out there, the man from the Atlanta Falcons who does kickoffs and has a stronger leg than Rob Hart. This will be a 45-yarder. It will give Scotland the lead if it's successful. Has he got the hook? Has he got the distance? No. So the Berlin Thunder hold on. They still have that 1-point lead, and they'll have the ball when we come back.
The Thunder had to punt on their next possession, so let's pick up the action on the Claymores' following drive.
It's first down Scotland. At their own 10-yard line. They'll go on the ground. Anthony Gray plows his way inside for tough yards. 4 more for Gray, who's had a pretty good afternoon. Mark Megner on the stop.
D, be alert. Huddle up. You ready, huddle up.
There's nothing like the sounds of football. I like the way they have the players mic. You don't get as much of this in the NFL. But I like the sound of it. Listen to the guys talk in the huddle, make the adjustments.
Hut. Blue 98. Watch him. Blue 98. Hut.
Second down and 6. Passing down, Sterner looks for Whalen again. First down yardage, Whalen cuts inside, looks for more. The Dallas connection clicking here. That's good for 10 yards. Megner and Davis on the stop. First down Scotland.
This play's worked for him 5 or 6 times. Berlin has not been able to stop this play yet. Now, especially to the right-hand side, getting Whalen into the flat, but there's really a soft spot in the defense, especially when they're playing zone. They make a very poor play fake to the running back, but you have to realize Anthony Gray's been playing so well that it's been effective enough to get Whalen out or sneak him out into the flat and get him the football.
First down, the ball spotted at the 26-yard line. 7.5 minutes left in the ball game. Still Scotland trailed by a point. And they look for Stephen Fontana, the third-string tight end, and that was a high-risk ball. Incomplete in the end. Fontana had no shot at pulling that in.
Well, it was very tough. I mean, it would have been a great catch. I believe if I'd asked him right now, could he make that play, he believes he can make it. And Sterner did a good job of putting it in a position where no one could intercept it. But these are the type of plays like that Coach Voss talked about at halftime. If you're going to make a difference in the game, go out and make the plays and expect to make them. And as you can see right now that, Scotland is dominating the yards. I mean, they have a nice mixture, 2-to-1 to run the pass, and that's the kind of mixture they wanted going into the football game.
But it hasn't given them a lead. You have all the yards if you don't get the points. Can Sterner get something going here? They've got Whalen all on his own. Whalen with a little stumble and a spin move that brings a first down. Megner on the stop. And Whalen showing good elusiveness.
Right, the short pass has been the most effective play that they have. What they've been able to do is bring him out of the backfield. He fakes like he's going to block the end. This is the one he scored on. This is the one they've been running in the right flat. And now they do it for the first time to the left-hand side. And all they've been doing is picking up positive yards on this play.
Whalen's having a big afternoon.
The Thunder's coaching staff is next to us in the press box. I think I'm going to go down there and tell them they need to defend that play.
Blue 98, hut!
First down from the 40. The pump fake. Now he's going for Gerald Williams, and again it's just an overthrow. But Sterner's touch, although he's played pretty well today, Sterner's touch on some of those deep balls not quite there at the moment.
It's not quite there, but
and he acknowledges it. Look.
Right. Besides Dante Hall, though, they don't have a lot of speed at the receiver position, so that's not the kind of play that you want to run. I mean, he doesn't have the burners to go get the ball down the field.
Nevertheless, this has been a much more composed performance today for Prince.
Yes, even a play like this, he realized the receiver had some space and he didn't make a great throw, but you move on to the next play. I mean, you criticize yourself, internalize a little bit, but move on to the next play because the next play is the most important.
No yelling and screaming and questioning things. Much more maturity from Sterner today. Second down. A lot of time. Dante Hall finds it at midfield and will spin away from Wade Davis for an extra couple of yards and a first down.
Good possession catch there. It moves the sticks. If Dante Hall really wants to play receiver, which I don't know if Kansas City's going to leave him at receiver, he's going to have to be able to run some of the intermediate routes and use his shifty running ability that he hasn't mastered yet by pushing the defense down the field and coming back to the quarterback, because those are the things that allow him to use his speed even more effectively.
Meanwhile, first down. Scotland just into Berlin territory. 5 minutes and counting. Hall again, he'll pick up 4 yards. It's the short pass once again. Moroncola wrapped up Hall, but it's another completion.
It's nice change of pace, a little 5-yard pattern. What they're trying to do is bait the defenders to come up and throw the ball behind that cornerback. But if the cornerback doesn't bait up on it or doesn't bite up on the corner route, which is a pattern behind the cornerback, then they're going to throw the ball underneath and get 5 or 6 yards. It's a good play on first down.
Well, it gives you a lot of options on second down. They still have Anthony Gray in the backfield.
Blue 98, be ready over there.
Williams, the big target, is the slot receiver here.
Blue 98, hit.
Pressure's coming, it's picked up, now Sterner is hit. Great second effort from Joe O'Neill, the middle linebacker, who fell over, then kept going to get Sterner.
Yeah, Joe O'Neill makes a good play here. He's coming up right through the interior of the offensive line, but I don't really think he made a great rush here. He made a good effort because his first initial charge was stopped, and then he dives for the legs. But down the field, the coverage was good enough where they made Sterner hold on to the football and give him enough time to get up and get on the legs of Sterner to get the sack.
That's the numbers that the Claymores have allowed. Joe O'Neill trying to emulate brother Kevin and land himself a roster spot with the Detroit Lions. Sterner trying to keep a drive alive from 3rd and 15.
Blue 98, hit.
Rolls out, still can't find anyone. And now he's in trouble. Nowhere to go, and a flag comes in, and that might be a really costly one on Jesse Warren. Because Sterner was in a corner with nowhere to go, and I've got a feeling this might really hurt the Thunder.
Well, this was a bad play from the beginning. We'll listen to the call right here.
This is big.
Personal foul, face mask, number.
It's Jesse Warren, number 94. That is so costly because they were dead.
Number 94, 15-yard penalty and automatic first down.
That's huge.
Why'd you have to tell him he was going to get away with that? This is a 3rd and long situation, so you know it's going to take some time for the play to develop down the field. Right here, the veteran quarterbacks, they normally get rid of the ball, don't take those extra hits. But right here, Warren makes a tremendous mistake by grabbing the face mask. I think that's been the most costly penalty today, is face masks on either side.
Absolutely. And another very costly penalty for the Berlin Thunder. And Peter Vass, you can see, going crazy.
Awful call again.
Well,
he choked on it in the first half, and he choked on that one.
Well,
what?
I think when he sees the replay, he might disagree with that one, Peter Vass.
The quarterback almost got choked.
First down. The swing pass to Anthony Gray. Gray, using that deceptive speed of his, then runs in to Dax Strohmeyer. I don't care how much speed you got if you run into Dax Strohmeyer. You're going to come to 0 in a hurry.
You're not going to make a living running into Dax. You're not. You're just not. That's a good play, good hustle.
But nevertheless, Chris, another 4 or 5 yard gain on first down. They've been doing that all afternoon, certainly in the second half.
I love that name, though. Dax Strohmeyer.
That's a great name. You ever seen him when he's not in uniform?
No.
Dax, it looks like he's wandered off the set of Baywatch. He's incredible. Looks like a lifesaver. Second down and 6.
Blue 88,
Less than 3 minutes. Still a point in the ball game. Sterner looks in the direction of Scott Cooper, and there was a miscommunication there. It's going to be 3rd and 6.
Well, that's one thing Sterner's going to have to work on when he gets back in the training camp with Dallas, is throwing the deep sideline patterns. He's missed about 5 of those today. He's overthrown them, and they don't have the same communication of what type of angle the receiver is going to take coming out of the route.
But this time a week ago, Sterner would have been chewing out Scott Cooper. He's not doing that now.
Right, I mean, he's definitely held his composure better than last week. And I think as the season progresses, I think he'll do a better job of doing that.
This is big. They're probably still out of field goal range. They need more yards. Can the Thunder hold them? 3rd and 6. Sterner takes off. He's got room in front of him. He picks up the first down. 8 yards on the completion. That's leadership.
That's good. I mean, that's using your head. That's realizing that the defense has your receivers covered, and let me try to make something happen. It's a great job because he's looking down the field, there's nothing there. So he steps up, uses his athletic ability. I mean, you don't have to be a great runner to be an effective runner. You just have to run at the right time, and that was the perfect time to take off because he didn't have anything down the field.
It certainly was. 3rd and 6 as we come to the 2-minute warning. A timely conversion from Clint Sterner. The Claymores are still down by a point, but they're threatening as we get to the business end of this ball game.
Blue 98, hit.
First down. On the end around, Hall is in trouble and goes down. Scott Pospisil, we haven't called his name all day, but what a timely moment to come up with your first tackle of the ball game.
It's perfect, and he makes a great play. I mean, he makes a great play by penetration into the line of scrimmage, but I don't know what they saw to believe that the 98 gash was going to be a good play. Why do you want to run a reverse? There's 2 minutes left to go in the game, and you're in the red zone. Why run something behind the line of scrimmage?
That's where you were. You're right on the edge of your field goal kicker's range. You've just lost another 3 yards. Clock continues to run. They're not taking any time. Now they have. It's the Thunder that's taking the timeout.
This will be a 30-second timeout.
This thing so finely balanced. Let's listen in to Coach Dahlquist and Clint Sterner.
I went just fine now. All right, draw 2 is a possible play, but I really want to go deuce right, and it's 22, dagger, H
wheel.
Huh?
Shallow H wheel.
You got it. Go ahead. That's me? Yes, H.
I like what they're going to do here.
H.
They're going to try to get the ball to Whalen. They're going to try to get in the ball with a short pass. I think the wheel's a short pass. But the thing I like is Coach Dahlquist, he took control of this, and he called the play that he wanted compared to the first time. I mean, he gave Stern an opportunity to call a play, and they lost 3 yards.
Second down and 13. Scotland need more yards. The Thunder trying to hold them right here. Sterner has a lot of time, goes over the middle, and that ball seemed to take a deflection somewhere. Ended up falling behind the receiver, who was Stephen Fontana. That's going to be 3rd down and long.
Now, this is the biggest play of the game, because what they need to do is get a pass play between 5 and 10 yards. It's not necessary to pick up the whole 13 to get the first down, but you want to give your kicker a level where he's very, very comfortable.
Here's Chad Holloman warming up. He missed a 45-yarder earlier. It would be a 45, 46-yarder from where the ball is right now. So this play, as you say, Chris, absolutely crucial. And 4 wide receivers from the gun.
If it's me, I'm looking for Whalen.
Sterner with a deep drop. He goes, he finds Dante Hall at the 10, and Hall's in for a touchdown. He made some mistakes early, but with a minute 13 left in the ball game, Dante Hall comes up with the big play of the game.
Now, he definitely redeemed himself, because for the first 15 yards of this, I mean, he's a receiver. But once he catches the football, he turns into the running back that the coaches are used to seeing. And the reason why the coaching staff is so excited about his ability is because he's built low to the ground, he has a great set of legs on him, and he runs through a couple of tackles getting this ball into the end zone.
And they line up for the 2-point conversion, and a timeout has been called by Sterner. And this is big, of course. If they get it, the Thunder have to respond with a touchdown just to take it into overtime.
This will be a 30-second timeout.
By the looks of that formation, over the Claymores are going to go for 2 points here.
Go, hip right close, K22 scatter on 1, on ready.
Hip right close, K22
No,
scatter.
it's zip.
What they're going to do is they're going to be from a tight formation. They're going to motion, and I think they're going to run like an angle route around the goal line.
Well, there it is. This for 2. Hall is the motion man. Sterner looks. That ball is tipped, and it's incomplete. And a flag comes in late after Sterner got crunched. And I think Antoine Young might have been the guilty party, and Young is getting into it with Anthony Gray. Now, this is where you need to keep your composure. But if it's Anthony Gray, this is where you might want to keep your distance. Stop mixing with those big defensive tackles and ends.
Well, Stern's holding the ball a long time.
Personal foul, roughing the passer, number 92 defense, half the distance, will retry.
Well, Antoine Young, number 92, I mean, he gets there right after Sterner throws the football. And I told Antoine I was going to talk about him today because he's one of my teammates in Minnesota, but I didn't want to talk about him in this type of situation. He's coming off the right side. He gets chop blocked right there, and Sterner's holding the ball. He delivers a shot to the back of Sterner's head right after he throws the football.
So the 2-point conversion attempt once again.
Sterner with a second opportunity. Feels some heat. Gets rid of it. He's got a man in the end zone, and it's James Whalen. The juggling catch for 2. Billy Gustin almost broke it up, but almost was not good enough.
Yeah, Gustin makes a tremendous mistake. It's a 2-point conversion. Don't try to intercept it. Knock the ball down. That's all you have to do is knock the football down. You see so many defensive backs in these type of situations don't realize what's going on, and they try to make the interception instead of knocking the ball down. I mean, you have to give Sterner a lot of credit on this play because they're going to fake the lead play up the middle, and he's trying to make something happen, stay alive, and just throws it up for grabs, and Gustin has to knock this ball down.
The line drive kick from Holliman. They're going to get decent field position out of this. It's at the 30 and at the 35, 36-yard line. That's where Quinn will get to work. Blenman on the stop. They need a touchdown. Quinn has thrown 3 this afternoon. Can he make it 4?
He's definitely going to be trying to add to his total of 3 touchdown passes. He has plenty of time. He's got plenty of timeout. The thing you want to do is get across the other side of 50 first. Get 2 first downs first. Don't try to go for the home run immediately. Now, after saying that, they'll probably try to throw a bomb.
Heckenbach wide left. Coutain is wide right. They have slot receivers in. Just listen to that crowd noise. First down. He's going to throw, and he's going to go deep for Dwan Jones. And Jones makes the catch. Claymores defenders are unhappy with it, and they're ruling that he juggled it.
Jones, he's in the slot right here. He's going to run a route right here, but when he gives great tenacity by staying alive, he got jammed, but he has to put the football away. Didn't have possession of it and has 2 feet in bounds.
It's a good call.
Great call by the side judge.
Close, but not close enough for the man from the Seattle Seahawks. Second and goal.
The receiving corps has let Jonathan Quinn down the second half by several drops.
3 wide receivers lined up to the right. The pressure comes. Quinn can't find a man. Jabbar Threets was blasting through. It's going to be 3rd and 10.
I think he made a good decision there because you don't want to take a sack with less than a minute to go. You take a sack there, it makes you burn a timeout, then it's going to put you in the 3rd and really long. You got 3rd and 10, which is better than 3rd and 15 or 20. And feeling Threets' pressure, he got rid of the football.
And the intensity level goes up another notch. Heckenbach to the left. 3 wide receivers lined up to the right. 3rd and 10. Quinn trying to keep this thing alive. Pressure comes. Down goes Quinn. Chris Ward just blew by his man and got the sack.
Ward, this is the culmination of a great game that he's played. I mean, he has pressure
Berlin
on the pass all day, but then also he's been a constant in the run game. Great sack at a crucial time. Forcing him to call timeout, forcing him to go for the 4th and 20.
Peter Vast knows it's going to come down to 1 play. All these fans know it's coming down to 1 play. And here it is. 4th and long. Quinn trying to keep it alive. Here comes the pressure. Flickett just got him. Sack number 3 on the year for the Englishman. And it effectively ends the ball game.
It's a great time to put pressure on him. And they've had constant pressure on him all day, but 4th and 20, you realize that the quarterback has to hold the football. And Flicklinger makes a great spin move to the inside. I mean, he has outside contain, but at the end of the football game, you can give that up and take a chance. And that gamble that he took really paid off, getting the sack there at the end of the game.
Let's wrap it up here, as there were no further scores in the game.
And it all means that they're with the Amsterdam Admirals on 2-1, just a game back from the Barcelona Dragons. And next week the Claymores will visit the Frankfurt Galaxy, a game that you and I will do, Chris. And they will go into the Waldstadion expecting a victory. They've got themselves back on track, haven't they?
Yes, they have an opportunity to be right in the World Bowl race.
Dante, great game. Talk us through your second touchdown, the game-winning touchdown.
Well, you know, Clint made a great read. You know, he told me, you know, they've been playing a lot of cover two, leaving the seams open, and he just did a great job of leading me in two. And once I caught it, I just tried to be strong and get it to the end zone.
For the season, you've only caught 5 passes. You virtually doubled that total today. What happened?
Well, you know, I can't just take all the credit. I mean, the line did a great job of picking up blitzes. Clint did a great job of making good reads. And I just thought it was a total team effort of everybody clicking as one unit today.
You're trying to change positions from running back to wide receiver. How do you rate yourself, your progress so far?
I mean, I'm trying to get better. I really can't rate myself. That's what the coaches are for. All I can do is go out each week in practice, each game, just try to get better. But personally, I feel like I did a little better today.